why do we actually start with this topic on code of ethics for general insurance agent. So as you all know that we are actually in a highly regulated industry, so we can't run away from the requirements and the needs from our regulators on the corporate governance. Hence, we have actually decided to start with this important subject to kick off this year's training session. Why it is actually important for each and every one of us in the industry to observe and abide by this, because it creates a system of rules and practices that determines how a company operates and how it aligns the interests of all stakeholders that leads to an ethical business practices. So I trust our knowledgeable trainer, Mr. Stephen Cheah, will share with you on the key information that is relevant to your role as an insurance agent. So without further ado, I would like to invite my boss, Mr. Andrew, to say a few words before we begin the session. Over to you, boss.
Okay, thank you, Fatah, and good morning to all our value business partner. Like Fatah mentioned earlier, that those who have logged in earlier, thank you for being punctual. I think very punctual. Mr. Stephen, and all my fellow colleagues, to all the BM and marketeers, and even the BA. I can see some BA here, or even other marketing support staff joining us for this meeting. I think it's very good. And I wish you all a happy Chinese New Year. To all those who are celebrating Chinese New Year. And may the New Year brings joy and happiness to you and your family. So like Fatah said, thank you very much for joining today's CPD training on the Code of Ethics for General Insurance Agents. I think basically the purpose of today's training is to remind ourselves. Sometimes it's good to remind ourselves, being a general insurance agent, I think we need to abide by specific ethics in order to protect our customer, in order to protect ourselves, as well as the principle in our day-to-day business activities. Sometimes it tends to take things for granted. So I think this is the right time as a beginning of the year for us to remind ourselves. So I believe this is a good start. And like I said, may our business prosper always, and that, we journey to expand our business this year is smoother than last year. So please enjoy the training and have a great day ahead. So I hope you enjoy it. I know this topic, like I said, is quite dry, but I believe that with Mr. Stephen's expertise, he will be able to make it lively so that you can enjoy this session. And with that, I'd like to hand it over to you, Mr. Stephen. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning. And first and foremost, Happy Chinese New Year to everyone who's celebrating. Okay, welcome to this session on this code ethics for general insurance agents. Okay, I will just use a simple form GIA in case you're wondering what is GIA later on. So this is in short for general insurance agents. All right, this topic on this code ethics actually covers quite a wide scope, right? Basically covers the insurers, the brokers, adjusters, and of course like intermediaries. But for the purpose of these sessions, I will confine this more to the general insurance agents. So that means whatever code of ethics that's relevant to the agents, I will put more focus on it. Especially those areas, like example, we talk about the product disclosure. As you know that Bank Negara requirement that every agents, when you are selling any new insurance to any of the new customers, you need to go through the product disclosure, transparent procedures to make sure that customers understood exactly what they are buying, and also you should be knowing actually what you are selling as well. Okay. Other than that, then I'll go through with you a little bit on the Personal Data Protection Act, which is also very important in your life, because as a responsible agent, you actually have access to a lot of their personal information. Example, their IC number, the place where they stay, and things like that. So you got to make sure that information that that you have are all kept with the strictest confidence. And then, of course, we also talk about some of the process like anti-money laundering, because again, as an agent, you are subject to the risk of money laundering, because a lot of these money launderers, they can actually make use of insurance to launder the money. All right, so I will go through some of these process with you. Hopefully, I will share with you more to the practical side of things rather than theory. All right. I will first brief you on the theory first. What is all this act and so on. Then later on, I will give you some case study based on the actual happenings in the industry. Again, from my experience dealing with those things those days. Hopefully, every one of you will take these sessions to participate actively in this program. And when I say actively, there are two ways. If you can speak through your microphone, that will be good. But more often than not, I don't hear much of the voices at the back. But of course, you still have another option. You can always type in your message or your answers or any queries in the chat box. Okay, and also to make sure that this session is both ways, communication, I like to also seek your cooperation to respond to my request. So if I ask any of you agents to respond, like example, if you are okay with the first slide, everything is clear. So if I ask you for your feedback or response, you just type out okay or Jom or whatever is it. All right. And then if I give you the case study, true or false, yes or no or whatever, let's hope that every one of you will at least respond with a yes or no and so on. Okay, because these sessions, honestly speaking, I'm looking at my desktop. It's a reflection of myself, So I'm actually talking to myself without actually able to look at any one of you there, because I believe most of you don't on your camera. Okay, so I can't see you people. I can only base on your what call your this based on your response in the chat box. So as long as you respond, I know that you are with me, you are sitting down, you are listening to the training attentively, and let's hope that you'll be able to sustain it until the end of the day. Yesterday's session was very good, afternoon. So I was told that even until the end of the day, more than 90% still stay on to the training. Okay, so hopefully this morning I'll be able to make you stay on until at least the end of the session today. All right. Okay, so for the start, if everyone is okay, if you can hear me loud and clear, so can I have your first message here? Okay, Jom? Can I get a Jom? Let's move on. Okay, good. All right, that's what I want to see. Thank you very much. Okay, for now, I will just off my video because I think without a video, I think the system will be more quite efficient. All right. Okay, see me clearly already. Okay, good. All right, let's move on. Okay, I can see a lot. Okay, very good. Right, let's talk about this code of ethics. All right, this code of ethics is, I mean, these are rules and regulations that are imposed by these regulatory body, like especially like Bank Negara. They want to make sure that all intermediaries involved in this insurance all abide by their rules and regulations. So, of course, today's session, I want to share with you more to the right things to do. Okay. I will focus more on the right thing rather than the wrong thing to do, because I don't want you to get the wrong perception of things. But of course, in any of this training, of course, we need some case studies. Because if you just talk about everything right, then you don't know what is wrong as well. Okay. So I will use the case study to put in maybe a mixture of the right things to do and the wrong thing that you should not do. Okay. So after that, when you already realize that these are the mistakes that that has been committed by agents at those days, hopefully we'll be able to make things right. So long as every one of us, I mean, for you, for me, for any stakeholders, as long as every one of us comply with all the rules and regulations, of course, we have to adopt our own principles to make sure that whatever rules and regulations are enforced by Bank Negara, if these are all fully complied with, I'm sure the industry will be a better place to work in. Okay, so everybody follows the same law, everybody follows the same rule, and everyone also on the same level playing field. So that will be the best to happen in the industry. Okay, so now as far as this code of ethics, of course, there are also certain repercussions if agents who don't comply strictly. So if you know that the code of ethics says that you can't do this and the agents are intentionally committed such act and so on, of course, there will be some disciplinary action be taken against the agents. Let's hope that this will not happen to any one of the agents or any one of you. Okay, right. So basically, for these sessions, I want to emphasize mainly on this COE that is connected more to the customers, because you are dealing with your customers. So we just want to make sure that whatever that you communicated with your customers, everything follows according to the rules and regulations accordingly. All right. So if you look at it generally, the code of ethics here is mainly, like I would say, mainly to protect the interest of the consumer. You see, of all the stakeholders involved, I mean like insurers, brokers, agents, even the employees of the organization, we are more or less more familiar with the insurance requirements. But to the consumer, majority of them, honestly, they are not the type of person who really knows everything about insurance. So it depends a lot on people like you to advise them on the best insurance coverage and so and so. So along the way, again, those days along the way, these consumers are at the what I call are at the ends, where it involves some of the agents. So sometimes this agent, what happens is that they try to force their way through. They oversell the product. They oversell so that they can get a premium. Or sometimes they mislead the insured into believing that this coverage is good, and then there's a lot of like a dishonest transaction, premium collected, and then it was not remitted to the insurer, and so and so and so. All right, that was what happened in the early days. Okay, but of course, right now with all these code of ethics enforced by Bank Negara, things are more streamlined today. Okay, so I want to share all this with you, and like I said, hopefully every one of you will participate in this session to make sure that you have a better understanding of this subject. Okay, so I'm going to go through some of these things, the code of ethics, which is very much focused on the agency business. All right, the first one I go through with you is, of course, on the general sales. That one I go through more in detail later on. Okay, first is on the general sales principles, and then, of course, like the product disclosure, that one is all about explaining the contract. And then besides the contract itself, there are also times where underwriter may require more information, more underwriting information other than those in the proposal form. So again, it is your duty as part of the agent to be able to obtain all these underwriting information to assist your underwriter in making a decision. Okay, then again for the general insurance agents, because you're also involved in the collection of premium, that's the important thing. Okay, so all the premium collected under this code of ethics says that as long as you have collected the premium, all this premium must be remitted to the insurer within the time frame allowed. So here, of course, we'll be talking about a little bit about the CBC as well as the premium warranty. Okay, now the next one here, documentation. Example, if there's any endorsement or any refund due to the insured, it must be made known to the insured. Those days, when I say those days, I'm not referring to any particular agent. Those days, whenever there's any refund premium, the agents don't normally communicate this to the insured. So what happened after a period of time, whatever refund, these are all booked into the agent's account, and it was not even refunded, right? So we do not want this to be repeated. So under the code of ethics, every agent, as long as there's any refund premium, it must be made known to the insured. Okay, and the refund must be made to them directly. Okay, that's on the documentation. All right, then we have these existing policy holders. Again, here we also require all agents to be what I call agents who are what I call valid agents, right? So if any agent who has been suspended or who has been terminated or sub agents and so on, these people are not allowed to transact any insurance. So just make sure that your agency continue to be renewed every yearly by complying with all the necessary requirement. Example, if you want to be continue to be a valid agent, then you need to make sure that you meet your minimum requirement contract of 50,000 a year. At the same time, you also need to comply with the minimum CPD training hours. Okay, and lastly, besides sales, of course, you're also involved in all these claims handling as well. So in case any of your customers need any advice in terms of claims and so on, so you should be there to assist your client in filing a claim. Okay, so you cannot say that, okay, I sell the insurance, so after that, anything happen, it's not my problem, because nowadays everything is online. You can check your claims online, you can check the status online. No, it's not like that, because you are the servicing agent. It's your duty to assist your policy holders. All right, so this is generally which I'm going to share with you shortly. Okay, right, so let's move on to the first one, the general sales principles. Okay, according to the agent's GIA, according to the code of ethics, these are the guidelines which Bank Negara has enforced on all agents. Okay, so the number one code of ethics here, they says ethical, it must be ethical. So first thing is that before you see the client to transact any sales, so it's only ethical for agents to make a prior appointment with the customer. Okay, because sometimes certain customer they may not like it, because honestly speaking, whenever we try to introduce or you try to introduce yourself as an agent, so a lot of people always think that, yeah, agent, they don't like the idea of agents coming in, things like that. So it's always good to make appointment, and after that, then only you see them. Okay, because like I say, some customer they don't like agents to walk in directly, approach them, and so on. Okay, so make an appointment. That's number one. Okay, number two, of course, you need to identify yourself as a valid agent or as an agent, authorized agent for AXA, because there's a lot of, agents out there, mainly are genuine agents, but there could also be those what they call the bogus agents, right? So these bogus agents are maybe they have the motive to maybe to deceive the insured, or maybe to cheat the insured of the premium, and so and so. We never know. All right. So to make sure that that you are been identified as one of the authorized agent, of course you have to show proof lah. So very, it's easy. If anybody asks you, how do I know whether you are the agent representing AXA Affin? So I'm sure you have the PIOM authority card. Okay. So show them to as an evidence that you are actually the genuine agent for your principal. Okay. Now, number three here, the code of ethics, suitability of policy means you need to sell the policy according to their needs lah. So do not oversell because you want to book in the premium. All right. So just sell according to the need. If the customer really do not require such extension, then respect their decision. But of course, sometimes you need to advise them as well. Let's say, example, if all the while they had a flood extension, example. So if let's say this year they decided not to take the flood extension, of course, it's your duty to advise your client that it is still important to take up the flood extension basing on today's natural environment. Okay. So if the insured, because he wants to save some premium, he said, no, I don't want the flight extension, I can save 500 ringgit. But you tell them the consequence could be even worse. Today you save 500 ringgit, tomorrow if a flood happens, it's going to cause a destruction of, let's say, 500,000. So it's not worth it. Okay, so advise them appropriately. Doesn't mean that saving a premium is something that's good, because sometimes if they have to pay the premium, they have to pay, okay, for the kind of protection that they may need it in times of need. All right, so advise them properly. And of course, I mentioned earlier, because you have access to all their personal information, example, their IC number, the place where they stay, and so and so. So it is also your duty to make sure that whatever information that is in your hands, these are kept with confidentiality. And also the code of ethics says that you are not supposed to release any of these personal information to a third party without their consent. Okay, so if anybody who asks you for their contact numbers of your customers, let's say one property agent asks you, agent, you got any of your customers, can I have their contact number, because I got some properties to sell and so on. So before you actually release any of these personal details to your friend, you make sure you check with your insurer first. Okay, get their consent. If they're okay with that, then it's fine. So if you release the information without their consent, as you know, we have this Personal Data Protection Act, which can help you legally liable. Okay, so just take note of that. So this is the code of ethics on the first part. Okay, general sales principle. Now, at the same time, of course, the code of ethics also says that you are not supposed to commit any of these. Okay, number one, the don'ts here, do not reveal the name of the introducer. Okay, this one is a little bit subjective, but again, is at your discretion. Of course, the code of ethics says you're not supposed to review, but sometimes your customer may insist. So they may ask you, where do you get my number? How do you know me? Things like that. So sometimes you have no choice, then you have to review. Oh, this is the Mr. Cheah example, or Mr. Cheah. Okay, if the client already knew that he has given his consent to your friend to give his number to you, then that's fine. Okay, but of course, if they did not ask you anything about introducer, then it's okay. You just take like business as normal. All right. Then at the same time, you're also not supposed to criticize other insurer or even your other counterparts. So whatever is it, you just sell whatever insurance based on your own strength, or based on the product strength, or based on the reputation of your principal. Okay. So if your other customers are not too happy with the other agents or the other insurers, you don't have to go over the line. All right. You don't have to add in the oil. Understand not? Yeah. So you just sell according to what you have to sell based on your own strength, and so that's about it. All right. Because if we criticize another agent or criticize another insurer, don't forget, sometimes other things can go back to you as well, you know. So you thought that maybe you think that your service is excellent, but you never know. One of these days, because of one mistake you made, the same thing can happen as well. So this your customer may also criticize you, and then after that, your other counterpart may also criticize you. All right. So don't do that. Just sell based on the strength of your own self as well as the product strength and so on. Okay, right. Number 3, the core ethics says here, now if you are comparing the policies for the purpose of working out the coverage, I mean that one is okay, because clients also, they want to know, if today I'm going to buy from you, of course you need to justify why is your policy more attractive than my current insurance. All right, so if you can prove it by making a comparison, these are your current policy, this is my proposed terms and so on. So if you can make the difference, which you can convince the client that yours is a better product, then it's fine. Okay. Right. Prohibit disclosure of material fact. Now, again, as responsible agents, these material facts are very, very important information to the underwriter. Because if you look at the proposal form, it's also part of the act, you know, under the Financial Services Act. This is a law itself. It's a law which requires the insured to disclose all material fact which they know or ought to know. All right. So let's say if your customer say that, oh, I got a bit of like maybe a bit of health issues. All right. Health issues, or maybe it's a family history of some high blood hypertension, things like that. So the customer may consult you as an agent. This one, should I declare or not? Of course, if they already have the symptoms of pre-existing or family history of hypertension, of course, under this disclosure of material facts, they have to disclose. But sometimes, in order to make sure that the risk can be accepted without any additional terms and conditions, or to increase the chances of acceptance, we may, without you knowing, say, this one, okay, since the insurer never asked, it's okay, no need to disclose. No, you cannot influence them. Okay, so if anything, there's a material fact they need to disclose, just let them disclose. End of the day, it's up to the underwriter whether they want to underwrite the risk or not, or whether they want to accept with terms and conditions, or they want to decline, is at the discretion of the underwriter. But it is good to make sure that you disclose this material fact, even if the underwriter impose a loading or exclusion. All right, so at least if a claim happens, this claim at least is still valid. So if you are trying to hide some of this material fact, anything happens, I tell you, that's the worst scenario. The insurer may decline the claim altogether. Okay, so that's number 4. So the 5th code of ethic here is to encourage do not encourage misrepresentation. So again, any description of the risk, all right, just describe it appropriately. So do not try to change the facts and figures to try to deceive the underwriter, okay, from making a fair decision. All right, so these are the don'ts. Okay, so these are just the overview of the general sales principles. All right, so can I check with you up to now? Everything okay? Clear? John? Check. Is it John? Okay, Susan? All right, good. Okay, Joe? Okay, good. All right. Keep your response coming. That's a good response. All right, let's look at the next one, which is explaining the contract. So as an agent, you know very well that you are also required to comply with the product disclosure and transparency procedure. I'm sure when you step into AXA's office, you can see at the front counter, they always have this product disclosure sheet where you are supposed to get copies of this one. And when you try to sell this insurance to any of your new clients and so on, you've got to go through the whole process with them. Okay, so later I will show you one example of this product disclosure sheet that you can use to assist you in your explanation to your clients. Okay, so what is this explaining the contract? Right. So of course, the first thing under this code of ethic, you need to identify the insurer, your principal. So if today you're going to sell this one of these AXA's, let's say your Business Advantage Plus or whatever, then you got to identify the product together with the principal, right? So you say this Business Advantage, this is under this AXA's policy. And then of course, it's also your duty to explain the coverage, the exclusion, the conditions, all right, and any additional charges and so and so. So the intention of this product disclosure is to make it transparent to the policyholder or to the insured. We want to be transparent, nothing to hide. You see, those days, those days, there's no such thing as product disclosure or anything like that. And those days, the customers will just depend on the agents to sell them the insurance. So anything the agent sell, the customer will just accept it. How much premium? Just accept. But what happens is when end of the day a claim happens, oh, this one is not claimable, this one premium is not paid, and so and so and so. So these are already considered as history. Okay. So today you are required to make sure that whatever product that you are selling must be transparent to the insured or to your potential clients. So we allow them to make a decision whether they want to buy from you or not. So today, if you tell them, okay, this coverage will cover this, this, and that, and then these are the exclusion. Let's say example like earthquake, like all these flood and so on. These are also exclusion. But if you want, of course, we can still extend, but you must pay the premium and so and so. So end of the day, it's up to the client whether they are okay with the terms and conditions or not. So after you have explained everything, even though your premium may be higher than the one offered by your competitor, but if your client is still happy with your terms and conditions, they are agreeable to that, then of course they will sign willingly. So here we cannot like force them, force them to sign up the insurance which they do not even understand. Clear? So this product disclosure, number one, is to make sure that the client understood exactly what they are buying. And on the other hand, on your part as an agent, we also want to make sure that you know what you are selling. Okay, so if one party know what they are selling and the other party knows what they are buying, then you have a common understanding. Both will sign happily. You got it? So that's the intention of this product disclosure. Okay, the third one here is a disclosure of underwriting information. So again, the proposal form itself, of course, is just the basic information which the customer may need to furnish. But sometimes in certain classes of insurance, you may need more than just a proposal form. Let's say, like example, a fire policy. If you say just only a single building, that's okay with just one single proposal form. But if you have a multiple numbers of buildings on site, and then you have multiple occupation, you have multiple tenancies, just a proposal form may not be sufficient enough. All right. And then like example, the group PA, if you say only a single individual or just one individual, the basic information is more than sufficient. But sometimes when this insured, they want to insure more than the maximum limit. Like PA, usually we give up to 1 million, right? So in case if they want to insure like 10 million or 20 million, we definitely need more information than just from the proposal form, all right? So such a time as an agent, the code of ethics says that it's also your responsibility to make sure that you're able to obtain all this information from your client and to be furnished to the underwriter, okay? So again, another thing here, the proposal form, all the questions must be fully answered. Those days, if we leave the question blank, that means underwriter is prepared to waive the question. But nowadays, it doesn't work that way anymore. Any of the question asked, if you leave it blank, we will take it as negative. So if we ask you, is there do you suffer from any family history of diabetic, blah, 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 and so on? If you leave it blank, we assume it's yes. Then we ask, do you have any claims? If you never mention anything, we assume as yes. So if they were to purchase a medical or a PA, we put there, okay, gender, male or female. If they leave it blank, means what? Friend, male and female. If they leave it blank, means what? Underwriter, how to underwrite? Okay, male and female. I leave it blank. So what does it mean? Anyone? Joke a bit lah. Kong chiu okay? So what does it mean? Cannot lah. Underwriter will throw back to you lah. Okay, tell me male or female. So if it's male, you tick like male. All right. So make sure that the proposal form is fully completed in order for the underwriter to make a decision. So any question left unanswered means normally we will just return the proposal. Please get all this information and then we will underwrite. Now the next thing is that the consequence of non-disclosure. So you tell your client every information here. These are all very, very important. So if your answers to some of those questions is a yes, make sure tick as a yes. Example like medical history. If it's a yes, please put there yes. So if this person, let's say, has been admitted to the medical center before for any surgery, if the answer is yes, just mention yes. If this person got claims before, just mention yes. So it's better to be truthful and tell them yes, let the underwriter decide, rather than trying to conceal the information. Because if you put the yes and you put it as no, underwriter will assume that this is a normal risk. They will accept everything normal. But when it comes to a claim, it will become abnormal. Okay, when I say abnormal means the claim department will reject the claim because of the non-disclosure. Okay, tell your customers, if you got any material fact, please be truthful, because this is also a law. It's an act which also make it compulsory for insured to declare truthfully and faithfully. All right. Okay, then next thing is avoid influencing the prospect. So sometimes in the course of doing business, of course, like agents, we want the business, right? So sometimes, it's a 50-50 case like that, but because you are desperate for the business, you may somehow try to influence the customer to buy from you. Okay, meaning you are using underlying tactics to force him to buy from you, things like that. All right, so avoid that if you can. And of course, whatever information that you need to obtain, which I mentioned just now, to assist the underwriter in making a decision. Okay, right. So this is talking about underwriting information. Okay, the next one, of course, like accounts and finance. So this one example for agents, because you are dealing with all this insurance, so the collection of premium is one of the key areas that you need to be able to comply fully with the code of ethics here. So number one, any premium that you receive from your clients, okay, you make sure that you got a proper accounts, because when any claim happens, the first thing that claim department will check is that has the premium been paid. So if the client has paid you the premium, sometimes, they may bank in, through e-payment, they may bank in through your account, example, your account, instead of directly to AXA. So if they happen to make any e-payment to your personal account, example, so you make sure you keep a proper records of all these transactions. Because, like I says, before the claim department register any claim, they will need to verify, has the premium been paid. So there are also situations where premium has been paid, but the agent did not remit to the insurer on time. Okay, so in case anything happens in between that time where the payment has not yet been paid to the insurer, then there could be some legal issues. So when the claim department rejected the claim because of non-payment, and then your customer definitely will not be happy, because according to them, they make the payment to you, but because you did not remit to the insurer, it becomes like a non-payment. So we do not want this to become a legal case. All right. So under this code of ethics, any premium that you receive, make sure you got a proper accounts, a set of accounts, and make sure that all these premium are remitted to the insurer according to the time frame. So under your motto, make sure that whatever premium first thing, CBC, you make sure that premium is paid to you immediately, and you got 7 working days to pay it out, okay, to the insurer. And then on the premium warranty, the 60 days premium warranty, make sure these are all paid out within the 60 days period. Okay, because if you fail to do that, then there will be some legal issues later on. Clear? Right. So that's an example, accounts and finance. All right. Lastly, on this documentation. So earlier I mentioned, if there's any refund, especially if there's any refund due to the insured, either due to the cancellation of policies or due to the NCD or whatever, make sure these are known to the insured and all the refund are made to them accordingly. Like I mentioned, those days, even any refund premium due to the insured, the agent just no action taken, right? Just keep quiet about that, and all the money is all credited into the agent's account. But nowadays, this will not happen anymore. Any refund will be directly credited to the insured. Okay, but of course, like agents, any additional premium don't need reminder one. That one you know what to do. You will remind your insured to pay up and so on. But refund, please do as well. Okay, so that's talking about documentation. All right, so before I move on to the next slide, just to confirm everything okay, clear? Disclosure of underwriting info, accounts, finance, documentation. Check, check, check. Okay. Okay, just now message about Pondan. If you put Pondan, Pondan, I don't know how to underwrite also. Okay, good. Okay, any more comment here other than Pondan? Look at the IC. Okay lah, IC, now I look at IC. Okay lah, even number or number. Okay lah, at least from there I would know. But it's still better for them to think. By looking at the IC, no doubt it's an even number or number, but still we will prefer that the insured personally complete the proposal form. Okay, after you go and put male, the first say I'm a female, then how? Yeah. Okay, proposal form, make sure that the client is fully aware of what is required of them. All right. Okay, next one. Okay, existing policy holders. So here again, I mentioned earlier, as far as agents are concerned, you have to continue to be a valid agent, meaning year in, year out, your agency continue to be renewed, okay, as long as you comply with the requirements. Like I say, sometimes in the market, there could be some of these agents who has already been suspended or terminated, or even like any disciplinary action taken against agents and pending appeal and so on. Sometimes this agent may continue to conduct their business. All right. So we do not encourage that. Okay. We just want to make sure that only valid agents are allowed to transact all this insurance business. Okay. So the next one here is okay, on claims, so again, selling insurance is one thing. So end of the day, if any claim happens, it's also your responsibility to make sure that you're able to follow up with the claim department on the status of the claim. Now, in your line of duty, very, very important is that make sure that we are also able to at least monitor the claim status. And the worst thing to happen is when a customer call you, agent, what happened to my claim? Claim. Already 3 months, how come there's no updates, nothing from the insurer about my claims? Are they going to offer me or are they going to reject my claim? How come there's no news? So that's the worst thing to happen. So if you are one of the very responsible agent, you have to follow up with the claim department, because sometimes the delay in the claims are not necessarily, it could be due to the claim department's fault, or it could also not due to the agent's fault. It sometimes could be the customer themselves. So later on, when you check with the claims, how come this claim there was no action, or how come there's no status update and so on? Then later when you check with the claim department, they tell you that, 10 documents requested. The client only furnished about 7, so 3 more outstanding, which the adjuster is still following up with your client. Then you check with your client. Mr. Cheah, according to the claim department, all right, adjuster requested for 10 documents, you only given 7. So what happened to the 3? So you see, the delay doesn't come from that claim department or the adjuster or the MO. It's actually the insured themselves. Okay, so it's good to follow up to make sure that everything is in order from the time they lodge a claim until the process, and of course the important thing, until the full final settlement of the claim. So if you can help them to settle the claim promptly and effectively, that will definitely create a very good image for you. Okay, right, and the don'ts here. Now in claims, of course, you also need to know the quantum of claim where insurer may require adjuster, or where where insurer may not require an adjuster. But whether the quantum of claim is big or small is not for you to just authorize them to proceed. Okay. Now, if any of the claim is a small amount, which the insurer may not require adjuster, it doesn't mean that you can just proceed to do as you like, right? So let's say if it's a burglary, the door may have been damaged, the padlock may have been cut, right? So to replace the padlock, maybe it costs, let's say, maybe 500 ringgit, okay? So you are not supposed to, okay, repair first, 500. No, you still need to take photos of the damaged items, right? Show it to the claim department, and then give them maybe a quotation for the replacement of the lock, less than 1,000. So if the claim department is okay with the evidence, okay with the quotation, proceed, then you proceed. All right. Then if you're talking about those claims where it's a big amount, a big issue, big amount of claim, that one definitely you are not supposed to make any decision. That one you have to check with the claim department, who is the adjuster going to be appointed for the loss, and then it's your duty to at least follow up on the claims process. All right. When I say claim process means if the adjusters requires any documentations and so on, so it's your duty to follow up with your customers to make sure that all these documents are submitted to the claims for processing. Okay, so these are some of the don'ts. All right, so these are the existing policyholders and the claim existence. All right, so I hope that I've shared with you, of course, generally, all the code of ethics, which is applicable to all the general insurance agents. Okay, so the next one, I'm going to have a case study for you. So I have already compiled some of these, what I call this ethical and unethical behavior. okay, of agents. I don't refer to any specific agents. Generally, from those days when I deal with agents and so on, of course, I have a compilation of some who did mainly who did the right thing, and of course there are also some who did the wrong thing. So like I says in this training, if we just talking about the right thing to do, then no meaning lah. So I want to test your knowledge as well. I'm going to put in something good and bad, unethical as well. So you need to identify which are the unethical behavior, and then you need to tell me if this is unethical, then what is the right thing to do to make sure that you are able to comply with this code of ethics. Okay, so this session I need every one of you, if possible, every one of you to participate in this. Very simple, just tell me is ethical or not ethical only. Okay, so you can type in the message box. So if you think this is number one, example, I give you one sample. Okay, if you think this is unethical, you just put there, okay, in your message box, you type one, which is for the first one, okay? One, so this is ethical or non-ethical. You can put there yes or no, doesn't matter. So if you want to put there E or unethical, then you just type, I would say, okay, just type there U, okay? Okay, U means unethical, E means is ethical. Okay, can you do that? U for unethical, E for ethical. Okay. Okay, so let's see this comment from JJ Sales and Services. Okay, IC number may not be a right one, but the case is not right gender when the J. Okay, it's possible. JJ, what's your name, JJ? I know your company is JJ Sales Services. Can I have your name so that I can address you? JJ or Jackie? Jackie, Jackie, I fully agree with you. Because sometimes the like you say this natural registration, sometimes they could have issued wrongly. All right. I tell you honestly, I also got a friend. Okay, he's how to describe her? She is a he. IC number is a her. It is possible. I fully agree with that. Those days, these are all things done manually, you see, so there could be, error made. But anyway, as I say, it is good for the insured to personally tick whether they are male or female. Okay, good. Right, so one is you, okay, second is 2E. All right, I tell you what, while I go through the first one with you, maybe you can key in your answer for the second one. All right, so when I address number 2, then maybe you can give me your answer number 3. Is it okay? So that I don't have to wait for your answers to come in before I can elaborate further. All right. Okay, the first one, earlier I did mention, if you are going to meet up with the clients for any sales appointment, so under the code of ethics, I already explained earlier, the code of ethics says that it is only ethical for you to make a prior appointment before you see the client. Because like I say, majority of clients do not like people to just walk in directly to them. And the worst thing some more, talk about insurance, Okay, so of course there are some they don't mind, especially if your clients are very close to you, they know your style of doing things and so on. You can walk in freely as you like. That one, if they are okay with that. But in case if they don't like it, they may file a complaint with Bank Negara. Why this agent, why is he so aggressive? Why is he, why is he, so aggressive, coming in without my knowledge, last minute, things like that. So do not allow this to happen, okay? So make appointment according to the code of ethics if you can. All right. One is unethical. Okay, number 2 is okay. Wow, it's all very fast already. 4, 5, 6, all other already. Okay, good. Okay, Susan. Wow. Okay, a lot already. Okay, never mind. You just key. Then when I address the question, you see whether you are right or not. Let's hope that the rest, if you are still waiting for your answer, just key in first, then I'll look at it. Okay, number 2. So there, my name is SC. I'm the PM authorized agent. Okay, earlier I also explained to you, if you are going to sell any insurance to your client, you need to identify yourself. Of course, you need to mention the company, the principal that you are representing. Okay, and this is the right thing to do. Number 2 here, this is ethical. Yes. I'm there to see my client. I introduce myself. At the same time, I also introduce that I'm the agent of this Agza Afin. Okay, so you're there to recommend the appropriate insurance. So this one I earlier mentioned, recommend the appropriate insurance to meet their needs. Okay, do not oversell, do not undersell. Okay, number 3, I'm not sure about the CGL, but I heard that the coverage is the most comprehensive. Okay, number 3, let's say number 3, unethical. Okay, all right, 3 is unethical. Good. Most of you put that unethical. All right. Just now, one of the code of ethics, we're talking about explaining the contract. So even though, yes, the market, according to the market feedbacks that CGL. So by the way, I'm sure you know what is CGL, right? CGL means this is a comprehensive general liability. I would say that CGL today is a trend already. All right, people are now taking up the CGL instead of just a standalone public liability or even the employee's liability. All right. So nowadays you see any business entity, the first thing they ask for is CGL. Okay. So in case if you're going to sell them the CGL, the customer may ask you, what do you mean by CGL? CGL, CGL. Not sure lah, because according to the market, this is now one of the most in demand insurance in the market now for liability class, you know. But can you tell me what is CGL or not? CGL, CGL cannot, no, friend. So you need to know, I mean, at least know fairly well what this CGL, right? So this combined general liability is like an all risk policy, all risk, okay? So it covers all forms of liability as long as they are not excluded in the exclusion. So if you look at the exclusion, you don't find public liability, you don't find employees liability. So these two means is part of the CGL. Then if you look at the professional indemnity, whether this is excluded or not. So when you look at the CGL or this is a professional indemnity appears in the exclusion. That means that one is not covered, no? Then again, if you look at the CGL, product liability. You look at it, product liability is in the exclusion. So that means it says that the product liability is not part of the CGL, like this one. So then the client asks you, if I want to add in the product liability as part of the CGL, can or not? Yes? Product liability is an exclusion, but now I want this to be added into my CGL. Can I do that? So again, like I said, if you are one of the responsible, knowledgeable agents, you can have you can find a solution for them. All right. So you can just explain to them, okay, since your business generally, of course, like example, like these like Giant, example, now see Giant, they are selling all those consignment of goods, and then they have a small section which they are producing all the bakery, all the bread and so on, right? So if the bakery is just only forming a small part of the what called incidental to their whole of their operation, you want to add in the product liability as part of the CGL? Yes, why not? So I just need the underwriter to endorse it. But if you're talking about a manufacturer, 100% they are manufacturing facility, of course, we would recommend that the product liability be taken up as a standalone. All right. So anyway, number 3 is just to emphasize to you, you need to explain to them all the product features. As long as the client understood exactly what you're selling to them and they know what are those coverage and so on, then that's fine. Okay. So number 3, this one is 3. Just now you mentioned unethical. Okay, good. Okay, number 4. So let's see number 4. Number 4 is E, ethical. Okay, number 4, ethical. Okay, very good. Okay, number 4, rest assured that all information obtained from you for my sales proposition will be treated with strictest confidence. So this one I highlighted to you just now. So because you have access to all their personal information, not only the insured, even the whole family. Example, if they happen to buy the group PA from you, the whole family with you, you will know each and every one, when is their date of birth, where they stay, what occupation, the wife detail, the children's detail, everything is with you, So you got to give them the assurance, all this information given, treated with strictest confidence. And of course, like sometimes when you ask them to photostat a copy of their IC, example, when you do this anti-money laundering process, you may need to photostat a copy of the IC, So when they give you a copy of the IC, they also get worried, What happened if my IC, the photocopy of the IC falls into the wrong hand? You see that? So make sure that give them the assurance that all this will be treated with confidence. Okay, this is ethical. Okay, number 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's see. While I go through the number 5, let's see your answers to 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, number 5. Why not renew your policy with me since your existing agent has gained a bad reputation for his poor after-sales service, customer service? Okay, number 5. So this is talking about criticizing others. So earlier I also mentioned, if your existing customers who decided to switch agency from the old agent to you, of course, if this new customer add in all the oil and fire, you don't have to go over the line, right? So even if they criticize or complain about the other agents, just leave it aside. Just focus on your own strength, okay? Focus on the product strength, focus on your own strength, and focus on the reputation of your own principle. That's about it. Because like I say, sometimes this can be a cycle. So sometimes we think that we are so great, and one of these days, if something happen, the same thing may happen. It's like a karma, you know. You criticize people, later on, people criticize even more about you. So don't do that. So under the code of ethics, just ignore, okay? Do not criticize others. Even in your heart, say, yeah, I want to criticize badly, but just keep it to yourself, all right? Okay, let's see number 6, 7, 8. Okay, six is unethical, 7 is ethical, okay? Okay, 6, please provide answers to the question outlined in the proposal form. You may leave some questions blank if it's too personal. So again, this one, remember I mentioned earlier, do not influence your customer not to disclose all these things. So even if the information asks about their IC number or whatever, they have to disclose, means they have to disclose, right? Now, example like this one, if the question again asks, all right, mostly like personal lines, PA medical, they will ask whether are you married, single, divorced, and widow. All right. So some of these people a bit shy, I'm only 25 years old, divorced already. Okay. Example, right? So they say, can I not state that divorce? Can I put there? Well, I don't know. Maybe you want to take. No. You tell them if it has to. If you're going to take as a divorce, take la divorce. If you have to take widow, take la widow. So if you are single, let's say if the person is 60 years old, still single, okay, just take single, nothing wrong with that. So whatever information that you put in the proposal form, single, married, divorced, widow, is only between you and the underwriter. You are not supposed to go and disclose all this information to other people, clear? So you don't go around the market, like, hey, this guy only 30 years old, already divorcee, blah, blah. Don't do that, because you are again criticizing other people's, okay? So this is something that is not ethical. All right, number 7, Mr. Steven Cheah. If you don't mind, I need a bit of your time to explain to you the details of the insurance which is required of me under the product disclosure. Okay, so number 7, let's see number 7. Okay, 7 is ethical. Good. All right, number 7, because this product disclosure, it can take a bit of time, So it all depends. If you make appointment with your client and your client says that, oh, I only got maybe about 15 minutes or 20 minutes to share, to accommodate you, So you got to get a copy of the product disclosure and try to focus more on the product features, okay? You may not have time to explain everything in detail. Okay, if you look at the product disclosure, everything is more like I would say that it's only the key points. All right. So tell your client, I may need a bit of your time, depending what product you're talking about. So if you're talking about a simple product, maybe half an hour, that should be sufficient. But if you're going to talk about some other more complicated products, like CGL, fire con loss, that one will take a bit of time. So to cut short the time, you perhaps you can give them a copy of the product disclosure, so you can ask them to go back, refer, and anything they're not sure, they can always revert back to you. But meantime, while you are trying to sell this insurance, you are still required to explain to them the product features, so that they understood exactly what you're selling and also what they are buying. Okay, so when you're doing all these sales, if you can try to focus more on the coverage. Okay, because if you go too much into the exclusion, the client may not buy from you. Okay, so let's say example, you say, okay, fire only cover fire, lightning, if earthquake happen, no cover, windstorm, no cover, impact, no cover, this one, no cover, only fire and lightning cover. Then 8 other items, flood impact explosion earthquake what some more, windstorm damage all these things, if you mention all the exclusion, of course the client may not like the idea anymore. If I want to buy this insurance, so many exclusion, then what for I buy? You see? So I'm not saying that you need not be transparent. You can still be transparent, but not at this initial stage, when you're trying to close the sales. Anybody who wants to buy any insurance, they always look at the coverage. Okay, what am I covered? What am I covered? So if you emphasize what not covered, then you actually, in a way, you may not quite entice them to buy. Okay, so what you do is that you sell based on the product features. Then later on, if you have managed to close already, then when the policy has been issued, the premium collected, commission taken. So when you deliver the policy, you tell him again, Mr. Cheah, can I have 3 hours of your time? What? Now 3 hours. At the point of sales, you say half an hour lah, because I mean that's just only the initial stage, right? But now all the contract is in hand. You say, can I have 3 hours of your time? I want to explain everything in detail to you. Such time, then you tell them lah, number one, number two, number three. Then one by one you can go through with them if they are prepared to listen. All right. If not, same thing. You give the policy to them, ask them to go through. Not sure, just revert back to you. All right. Okay, that's number 7. Okay, number 8. Earthquake, flood, RSMD, all these things are excluded from the fire, but this can be extended. Okay, number 8. Let's see what's your answer here. Okay, number 8. This is something that's ethical. So same thing. You need to explain to them. You need to explain to them. Okay, just now I mentioned we cover only fire, lightning, and domestic explosion. All these earthquake, flood, RSME, these are exclusion. But if you are willing to pay a premium, of course, we can still accommodate. Of course, we do not accommodate automatically. Even though, yes, we can extend with payment of this additional premium, but it doesn't mean it's automatic. All right, you need to tell them it's on the merit of each case. It's not automatic. So if let's say that insured, the area is a flood prone area. So if they want to cover a flood extension example, we need to underwrite first. It's not automatic one. We need to underwrite. So if the condition favors the insurer, and of course favor the insured as well, then of course the one we can accommodate. All right. But if your risk is located in the area classified as a flood prone, then definitely the underwriter will say no lah. All right. So if the customer asks you in the first place, if no lah, why must pay premium? Then only you extend. So you need to explain to them it's on merit only. Okay. So that's number 8. So it is your duty to explain to them the exclusion, why the additional premium, and so on. All right. So if they are agreeable to your explanation, they are willing to accept it, then that's fine. All right. So that's number 8. Okay, let's look at number 9. So many, Okay, 9, 10, and 11. Okay, 8. Yeah. Okay, now I show you 9, 10, and 11. While I address the number 9, perhaps you can also type in your answer, number 10, 11. Okay, number 9. This one is explaining the contract again. So again, for any insured agents, we cannot just simply quote an overall premium without giving them a breakdown. So today, if you tell your client, Mr. Cheah, your premium is about 3,000, about 3,124 like that lah. 3,124 lah, total lah, everything lah, pao lah, alright? Kaliao pao lah, pao kaliao lah, 3,123.75. The client also wants to know, what do you mean by 3,123? What premium are you charging me? So it's only ethical. We give them a breakdown. Your basic is so much. Your loading here is so much. Of course, the service tax is the one you need to pay, and then stamp duty you need to pay. So the client may want to question you further. Why loading of this 25%? My previous insurer got no loading. Why you want go loading? Then you need to explain to them, because your motor vehicle example, according to our underwriting guideline, any vehicle more than 10 years old, there will be a 25% loading example. Or maybe you can tell them loading, let's say like maybe like your other insurance, let's say like your PA example, or because the insurance is involved in all these area activities, water activities, so because of the hazardous exposure involved, so we may need to load 25%. So this 25 is up to the client whether they agree or not. So if they are not agreeable to the loading, if you're going to charge me loading, I don't want to buy from you. They got the right. Okay, so is the code of ethics says that you have to be transparent, give them a breakdown of premium. Okay, so that's number 9. That's ethical. Okay, number 10 and 11. Let's see. 10 is unethical. 11 is ethical. Okay. Okay, I received the premium from the policyholder well before the expiry of the 60 days. In that case, I can roll the premium by paying for my other client's policy where the premium are overdue. Okay, this is part of the accounts and financial aspect, which earlier I mentioned. You are involved in the collection of this premium and you are required to remit to the insurer within the time frame. So these policies got 60 days, assuming the client pays you in 45 days. Okay, so you still got another 15 days before the 60 days due. So what happened is that you use this premium that you collected from Mr. A to go and pay under Mr. B. Is that the right thing to do? Collect the premium from A and then pay the policy belonging to B. That was what happened in the early days, all right? When there's no premium warranty. Premium collected, they roll, okay? Collect from A, pay for B. After collect B, pay for C. So until such time, the whole account become a mess. Paid become not paid. Those not paid becomes paid. So everything become a mess. And then when the claim happens, insurer rejected the claim on grounds of non-payment. So that is where a lot of hoo-ha happens and a lot of legal issues arise. Okay, so we do not want that to happen. We just want to make sure that under this code of ethics, maintain a proper set of accounts. Any premium collected due to the insurer, please pay up. Okay, right. So this number 10. Number 10, let's see. 10 is unethical. Okay, good. Okay, so this one I will address it further on the CBC as well as on the premium warranty later on. Okay, number 11. Okay, cancellation, which I also mentioned just now. Any premium due to my policy holder, I will need to inform them of the refund premium. At the same time, I may need them to furnish the details of the bank account number as well as to sign the consent form. Okay, so if the client asks you, why do I need to give you my account number? So again, you need to explain to them, Mr. Cheah, you got a refund due under your policy, okay? Refund is 5,000 ringgit. You want or not? Of course, I want. Of course, if you want the refund 5,000, of course, the insurer wants to bank in the money for you. Now, all refund, they don't pay to the agent anymore. So everything is direct to the customer. So if you want the insurer to credit the amount into your bank account, you must give me your account number, After you take my account number, you can check I won't check under the PDPA, under the person data. This is all very strict in strictest confidence. So this is only for the purpose of insurance only. We just want the money to be credited into your account. That's about it. So in order for them to bank in the money, we need your consent also, that you have consented to giving us your bank account number to enable the insurer to bank in the money. Okay or not? If you don't want the money, never mind. I can take. Okay, number 11. So this is something. 11. Okay, 11 is ethical. Yeah. So remember, nowadays, any refund, we still need the account number. At the same time, we need them to sign the PDPA consent form. All right. So that's number 11. Oh, 12, 13. Okay, well, I addressed the number 12. So maybe the 13, 14, 15, you quickly just type in your answer again. Okay, I'm glad to see that so many of you put in your comments, your answer. Okay, keep it up. Okay, now with the advancement in the IT technology, paperless environment, my policyholder can now check the insurance detail, file claim, make inquiries online. I should get less involved now, unless they require my assistance. Okay, this one under the existing policyholders. Earlier I mentioned under the code of ethics, you are the servicing agent, so you earn the commission. So it's only right that you provide all the backup service. If the client goes direct to the insurer and then they get a discount of the premium, of course they want everything they need to go direct. Okay, but if you are the servicing agent, it's your responsibility to assist them in any way you can. You just cannot say that, oh, you need to check your policy expiry, go online. You want to check your claim status, go online. You want to check anything, online. No, we do not encourage that. So remember, you are the servicing agent. It's your responsibility to make sure that you play your role. Yeah. Okay, so that's one is okay. Let's see, number 12 is unethical. You're right. Okay, since my agency has been suspended pending an appeal, I can park the renewal of some of my client policy to my counterpart, who is also the agent for Alexander. Hopefully, my agency can be fully reinstated quickly so that I can transfer business back to my agency comes next renewal. Okay, number 13, is this ethical? 13, Shirley, 13, no answer. Not sure. Oh, 13, not sure. 13, unethical. Okay, unethical. Okay, remember earlier I also mentioned under the code of ethics, you got to be that valid agent. When I say valid means your agency license or business has been renewed by your principal. Okay, that means your agency got no issue at all. But there are times some agency may have some issues, either because they breached the CBC, they breached the premium warranty, or the agency has been suspended because they failed to meet the minimum of 50,000, or because they fail to comply with the CPD hours, or because their license are withheld by this PM because of some fraud or because of some bankruptcy act and so on. So this agent are not able to conduct their business. So what happens is that they continue to sell, but they park it in another agent's account. Remember, as long as you have been suspended, you are not supposed to transact insurance. But if you want to refer the case to your other friend or your other agents, of course, your other agent will need to do the sales. Okay, not you. You cannot for now. All right. Okay, 13. Okay, 14. Since the claim is less than 5,000, can you, okay, I should immediately notify the insurer on behalf of the insurer, then seek insurer's approval to proceed with the repair or replacement. Okay, so number 14. Claim existent. Okay, 14, ethical. Okay, good. 14 is ethical. That's the right thing to do. Okay, number 15, I'll continue monitor, update the policyholder on the current status of claim until full settlement. So if there's any issues with the claims, I will help my policyholder to write or file a complaint to Bank Negara, to PIAM, should the claim be unduly delayed. That's my service motto, under promise, over deliver. Is that good? Okay, number 15, that one definitely is good. Okay, 15, that one is good, ethical. All right, so I have given you an example, some examples of each and every category, all right, from the general sales principle to explaining the contract to all this documentation, policy holders, claims, and so on. So I hope this session give you a very good idea of what you should do to make sure things don't go wrong, right? Just comply according to the code of ethics so that everyone is happy, okay, with all the transaction and so and so. All right, so that's code of ethics. Okay, so if everyone complies, if everyone adopt the same attitude and so on, I'm sure that the industry will be a better place to work. There will be less complaint, there will be more effective, more productivity, there will be less legal issues, and so and so. So these are basically the three things here. All right. Okay, so any questions on this code of ethics for this general insurance agent? So from number 1 to number 15, I've given you the examples. Any questions? Okay, I just browse through in case some of you may have commented something earlier. Tada. Okay, very good. Okay, so for me to move on, can I get the Jom? No question? Okay, good. Jom? Okay, in agency. Very good. Thank you. Right, let's look at the next one. All right, we look at this code of ethics and together with the regulatory environment. All right, you know that this insurance, any insurance here, we are actually governed by this Bank Negara through one of these act here, the one they call the Financial Services Act. Those days, it was known as the Insurance Act 1996, but it's now superseded by this Financial Services Act. Okay, all these insurance are all actually, what do you call it? These are all regulated through Bank Negara. Okay, and of course, Bank Negara don't deal directly with the insurers one. Okay, so Bank Negara, if there's any new policies or whatever, the Bank Negara will then communicate with the PM here. So this PM, this is a association where all the general insurers are members of the PM. Okay, Persatuan Insurance Arm Malaysia, these are open to all the general insurers in the industry. All right. So again, for agents, people like you are represented by who? Are you represented by somebody or some association? Anyone? All the general insurers, they are represented by PM to protect their interests. Now, for brokers, brokers also have their association of all those insurance brokers. Adjusters, they also have their association, all right, who will also speak up on behalf of all the adjusters. But what about agents? People like you? Are you with any association that will help you to speak out in terms of needs? Anyone? Are you an association of you heard about this one called okay, we are member of PIAM. Okay, Jackie, actually, agency, no, you are registered with PIAM. Okay, you registered your agency with PIAM. PIAM is the one who will actually monitor all the agency registration. Okay, but you are not a member of PIAM. You are just only a registration of agency only. Okay, PIAM, they are all the insurers, general insurers are members of PIAM. So for people, okay, let's say need to pay a member. The one is just a registration of your agency. You need to pay lah for registration. So you're right. So you're right. This one is called Perwakim lah. Okay, not Perwakim, Perwakim. Correction, we are registered agency. Yeah, you're registered agency. No problem, Jackie, no problem. You're right. So here we call it Perwakim lah. Yeah. So this Perwakim is what they call this Persatuan Wakil Insurance Malaysia lah, something like this. So if you are not a member, maybe you can just access their website, just go through and see what kind of services that you can get from there lah. All right. So it will be good. It will be good at least to be part of the association that can speak up for you in times of any needs and so on. For Liam, you see Liam also the same thing. Liam, these are all for those life insurers. So again, you register your life agency with Liam. All right. Okay. Many of you, a lot of you are not members. I know. I don't know whether because of the lack of publicity or because maybe as an agent you find that there's not necessarily a need to be a member of it, or maybe you don't find any benefits that you get from it. But honestly speaking, if you can be a member of the Perwakim, I mean, it will be good. All right, at least you will know what is happening in the industry and so and so. So in case one of these days where agents are, you may face some legal issues with some insurance and so on, at least I mean Perwakim is there to assist you. All right. So anyway, you go to the website Perwakim, you see what you can get from there. All right. Okay, let's look at this Bank Negara and the Persatuan Insurance. What do they do? Okay, Bank Negara, they are the one who will formulate all the insurance policies, okay, and to be enforced through PIAM. Okay, and then PIAM will communicate with all their members, which is all the general insurers. So whatever is it, because this Financial Services Act applies not only to the insurance, it's actually is a very wide scope. It covers all the banking and so and so. But for this session, I will just confine only to the insurance requirement. Okay. All right. So under this FSA, we are bounded now by these three areas. Okay, the first one is this knowledge statement by the agent, and then this one is misrepresentation, and these are the pre-contract disclosure. So remember earlier we talking about the duty of disclosure. Any material facts that's relevant to the risk is an act. Okay, this is under the Financial Services Act. Is an act which make it mandatory for the insured to disclose all the material facts required in the proposal form. So earlier I mentioned, if at all there's any concealment of any non-disclosure of material facts, so this act itself will give the insurer the right to reject the claim. All right. So as far as all the consequence of non-disclosure, I have already gone through, so I will not repeat that. So another important one here, knowledge of statement by insurance agent, because you are representing AXA. So anything that you have committed, or anything that you have speak out, that will also represent your principal. Okay, so whatever is it, please follow the rules and regulations, or whatever code of ethics which AXA has for you. Please try to comply with the code of ethics, because if you deviate anything out of there, and you may put that principle under some issues. Don't do that. All right. Okay, this is example of the proposal forms. So earlier I mentioned the disclosure of material fact is part of the act. So here we mentioned very clearly already. Make sure that whatever information that you know, so make sure disclose accordingly. So this is the personal data. So earlier I also mentioned to you, because you have access to all the person data of the insured, so you have to make sure that these are all kept within the strictest confidence. So this is the premium warranty that we mentioned earlier, 60 days premium warranty. So this is the knowledge of the statement. So remember, any statement that you made is actually also you made on behalf of AXA Afin. Okay, so be very sure before you make any statement. If you are not sure, please do not say anything until you consult AXA whether that's the right thing to do or not. All right. Okay, as far as the PM is concerned, they are the one who will actually like register. First one is register. I didn't write in the register. Okay, they are the one who will register your agency, who will also renew your agency, and so on. All right. So for any person who wants to be an agent for insurers, they have to register with PM. Okay, for the agency. But before they even register with PM, of course, there are a few things that a new person, the person who intended to be an agent, they got to go through a few process. That one I will go through with you afterwards. Now, as far as PM is concerned, they are the one who will register or renew your agency license. They are the one who will also formulate some of the regulations, which is already approved by Bank Negara, or the one that is formulated by Bank Negara, and so on. Okay, so let's look at this one. Okay, as far as PM is concerned, they just want to make sure that now today you find that with all the CPD training and so and so and so, this one is the intention is to make sure that end of the day, we want to see a very high professional standards among all the agents in the industry. Now, those days, in the 60s, 70s, or even in the 80s, last time, no such thing as CPD training one, And then those days, anybody who wants to be an agent, don't have to go through all the process, okay? As long as you got the 10,000 deposit or you got a guarantor, you can even sign up with as many principal as you can. Even 10 principal also no problem, okay? And then those days, after premium collected, never remitted, and then insurance in a way forced to the insured, things like this. And there's no training at all. As far as agents are concerned, those days, they just sell a piece of paper. So coverage or not, they also don't quite understand what are those coverage. Basically, just selling a piece of paper. Right. Then after that, we also find that there's a huge number of agents who are the unproductive one. Every year do 1,000, 2,000, 1,000, 2,000. So company find that it's quite costly to maintain all these unproductive agents. Okay. So of course with that, PM also decided to come up with the new regulations. So anyone who wants to maintain your agency or who wants to sustain your business, you need to do minimum 50,000 annually. All right. So what happened with the 50,000? A lot of agents are not able to meet the 50,000. So what happened after that? They decided to move away. So either they close down the agency or stop doing agency business because they cannot meet the minimum requirement. So there's also a blessing in disguise. So for people like you, if you are able to do the 50,000, that means now there are less players in the industry. Okay, now there are more premium for you to target. Okay, so that is something good to happen in the industry. So now at least we have all the CPD training to make sure that all agents are fully equipped with all the knowledge and skills to sell the policies. And at the same time, of course, we also want the productive agents. Okay, so I believe that all of you fall within that categories. You are able to meet of 50,000 and you're able to exceed that 20 hours CPD training. Okay. Okay, let's see what PM do here. Now, besides renewing, registering all the agency, so PM can also take all these necessary action, okay, to either terminate, to suspend, or to reject any registration that may fall within any of this category. Okay, so this one example. So if, example, fraud registration, maybe this person who decided to register an agency, maybe just a paper company, right? And again, any agent of unsound mind, okay, don't know what they are talking, and any agents who have been disciplined for misconduct, any agent in the brink of bankruptcy, any agents with criminal records, any person without any agency, with no substance agency, those that's under investigation by PM, for the example, due to the breach of this code of ethics or due to the AMLA and so and so. And then, of course, anyone agents that's caught involving in fraud, helping customers to make fraud claim, example, and of course, any agents who are in debt. So because of all these 9 reasons, PM got all the right to suspend or terminate your agency. So let's hope that none of you fall within this category. Okay, if at all any one of the agency fall within these 9 categories, of course, they will be given a show cause letter why your agency should not be terminated or suspended. So of course, the agent got to give their reasons. So if everything works out fine, of course, the agency can appeal, and of course, PM will be able to reinstate the agency. But if of course there's no reasons given whatsoever, so the agency will be terminated permanently. All right, so that's talking about a little bit about PM. Okay, let's look at some of these code of ethics. Okay, tell you before we move into this one, I think Fatah, we take a 5 minutes break.
Yeah, I think we take a 5-minute break. Scheduled to be 11.
Okay, sure.
Okay,
All right,
Okay.
all right.
Back in 5 minutes.
All right.
Have your coffee.
Okay, sure. For the 60 days which they are on risk. You see or not? We hold you cover for 60 days, the one you must pay, So I will issue an endorsement. Okay, I cancel the policy, but I will charge you the 60 days for the pro rata premium. All right, so you must pay. So again, the same issue, if let's say after 60 days, I cancel the policy, and let's say the premium for pro rata comes to 3,000, right? This 3,000 will be reflected in the agent statement. So you have to collect the premium from your client. So if your client, on the other hand, say, why should I pay? My policy cancel. Why should I pay? You pay yourself. Then agent, you end up, you have to bear the cost. If you don't pay, it will be reflected in your agency as outstanding. You see, So anyway, of course, the premium warranty is still the what I call is still a warranty. We still need to comply. But like I say, if in any event, it can help you to improve your efficiency. In terms of your premium collection, in terms of your credit control, why not? Okay. All right. So there's some examples of your premium warranty. All right, the next one, let's look at this product disclosure. Okay, here, let's see, CBC wording need to change from inception to issue date. No. So there's normally for the CBC, the CBC itself will usually mention from the inception date, right? But when they issue the policy, the system will will automatically generated based on the issue date. All right, so we can't change the wording on the CBC. It's from inception, but the system itself will mention when they churn out all these 7 days is from the issue date. All right. Okay, this is another important section here on this product disclosure. So earlier I mentioned why we need all this product disclosure, because number one, we want to make sure that the agents know what they are selling. And number two, of course, we also want the customer to understand what they are buying. So as long as both parties have a common understanding, then you come to a conclusion, both are agreeable, win-win situation, then they sign off. All right. We do not want a situation where agent also don't know what they are selling and the customer just buying something which they are also not sure what they are buying for, and they are not sure what they are paying for. So that one will be a bit of issue later on. So should something happen, then the customer will point fingers again at the agents. They never tell me this, they never tell me that, and then things happen, you decline the claim. Right. So we do not want this to happen. We want to make sure that everything is transparent for the customer to decide whether they want to proceed or not. All right. Okay, let's look at some of these procedures. Okay, this is example of this money insurance, the product disclosure. So you can get a copy of all this product disclosure sheet, I think anywhere in the branch office. So this itself will help you a lot in terms of your presentation to your clients. In case some of you are not too familiar, let's say with money insurance, but you still need to explain to them the product features, right? So get a copy of this product disclosure, that will help you a lot. Okay, so during the initial stage of discussion, of course, you can give them a copy of this disclosure sheet. Tell them anything not sure, you can always come back to me. But once this is accepted, the policy has been issued, then you can take more time to explain to them the further details about all the exclusion and so and so. All right, so let's look at some of these details here. Okay, I'm going to share with you a disclosure, the principle, all this in the next slide, all this. This is at the sales stage. Okay, this is already at the closing stage. This is selling, this is already closed. So I told you here, at this point of time, maybe you ask them for about 30 minutes of their time. If they can spare you more time, why not? So after the policy, after the risk has been accepted, policy has been issued. Now you want to explain to them more in detail about all the policy coverage exclusion. So you tell them, can I have 3 hours of your time? Okay. Wow, 3 hours. And Mala give them the maximum 3 hours. If you can explain within 2 hours, I mean, that's fine. Okay. So you just ask for 3 hours if you can. If the client say no time, no time, okay if no time, you just take back the policy, you just read through the policy wordings, anything not sure, just let me know. Okay. But first thing first, fellow fellow agent, do you read the policy as well? Do you read the policy wordings, or normally you don't? So if you want the client to understand the terms and conditions, personally for agents, you must also be familiar with the product itself. Okay. So in case they raise any question or anything, at least you are there to provide the solutions. Okay, let's look at the pre-contracted stage, disclosure by agents. Okay, the first, the code of ethics under this product disclosure. So if you're going to approach any customer or any customer who approach you for any insurance, so the first thing you need to do under this code of ethics, you need to, of course, introduce, okay, AXA Affin is one of the general insurers, licensed insurer, okay, regulated by Bank Negara. For Malaysia, no problem. All the insurance company, whether they are general, they are life or composite, they are all licensed by Bank Negara, okay. Under this code, I think, why do we need you to inform the customer? Because we just want them to be sure. In case if they are still very doubtful about this insurance company, of course, they can check through Bank Negara website. All right. So no issue. Our concern is not so much of the insurer. Insurer are all licensed, or no problem. Right. Our concern is more to agents. Okay, so this is the one that we are more concerned. So other than introducing AXA Affin, you need to introduce yourself also. Okay, so I'm the agent, I'm representing AXA Affin. Okay, this is my agency and so on. Because you know that for agency, I told you already, there could be a lot of genuine agents, but there could also be a lot of these bogus agents. Bogus means all those fake one, all those fraud one, you know. All right, so we just want to make sure that you are the authorized agent. So how do I know whether you are the authorized agent for AXA Affin or whether you are registered with PIAM? How do I know? So if the customer is still doubtful about this agent, I see your face like comment like that. I just want to be sure that you are the registered agent with PIAM, or you are the authorized agent for AXA Affin. I may want to check further, you know. So before we talk about insurance, I may call the number that you given me. All right, I may check with PIAM, is this a registered agent? I may call AXA Affin or whoever is in to check whether this person is under your agency or not. So if everything is okay, yeah, they are in, yeah, that's fine. So we want to give them the assurance, the insured, the assurance that this is a legalized agency, not just any bogus agents. Okay, so after you have already introduced yourself, your principal that you are representing, of course, the next thing is that before you can conclude the sales, you need to check a few things first. Now, the first one, of course, you need to understand what is this insurable interest. All right. Now, if anyone approach you for the motor insurance example, or if you approach anyone for a motor insurance, what is the first thing that you need to establish this insurable interest? How do we know whether you are the owner of this vehicle? Or how do I know whether this house belongs to you? Or how do I know whether this spouse is your legal spouse? Okay, how to prove it, you tell me. So motor, how do I prove it? That this vehicle belongs to you. Very simple. Okay, just how do you prove it? Okay, your grant, right? Okay, grant is one thing. Other than grant, now I take your grant, right? So I look at the grant now. Oh, this is under Mr. Steven Cheah. Then after that, okay, can I see your IC? Okay, IC, yeah. Okay, IC. But IC is under another name. So how come the vehicle under one name, but the IC under another name? So if you want to establish that you have ownership in the vehicle, right? So if I look at your registration card, must be your name, and your IC and the registration card is your name, that is fine. Those days, a lot of things happen. When the seller sold the car to the buyer, after that, what happened? They continue to renew the insurance and road tax using the seller's name. So one of these days, when there's any there's any traffic offences and so on, all the summons will go to the seller. Then the seller say, I already sold a vehicle. Why the summons are still coming to me? Because the buyer did not change the ownership. Okay, so any accident happen, the buyer got got nothing to worry about. Everything go and look after the seller. You see or not? So we do not want this to happen. We want to make sure that anyone who purchase any insurance has an insurable interest in the property insured. So example, if you're talking about vehicle, we want to make sure that the ownership of the vehicle belongs to the insured. We also want to make sure that any of the properties they want to insure now, whether it's a house owner or whatever, we want to make sure that the insured person is the one named in the policy. Okay, so in short, when we talk about insurable interest, in short means that if at all anything happen, the insured person must suffer some kind of loss. Okay, so the loss can be, example, a physical loss. Physical loss means, example, like fire, burglary, motor. These are physical loss. It can also be personal loss, or what they call emotional loss. Emotional means like the death of the insured person or even the medical. So that is like a emotional or personal loss, and also can be financial loss. So financial loss, example, like fidelity guarantee, like the money insurance, like the fire consequential loss insurance. Okay, so if at all anything happen, this person suffer these three, any of these three losses, then they are considered as part of the party with insurable interest. All right. So if someone insures someone and then someone die, and this person is so happy taking the money, the compensation from the insurance, and he's so happy about the death of the person, that one no insurable interest. All right. So establish the insurable interest. Look at all the documents to prove the ownership. Then what about husband and wife? How do I know whether this is a legally now? If the husband insured the spouse, okay or not? Husband insured the spouse, okay or not? Okay or not? Spouse. If you say husband insured spouse is okay lor. If you say that husband insured spouses, spouses, spouses cannot lor. Okay, spouses we need to check further lah. Okay, the next one here. Okay, next one is utmost good faith. So this is all related to the duty of disclosure. All right. So here, insured need to disclose to Exafin all the material facts here. Okay. So again, same thing. When you ask them to fill out the proposal form, I already explained earlier. Make sure that all the questions are answered truthfully and faithfully. Because if they try to conceal any material fact or non-disclosure, any claim happens later on, the company got the right under this duty of disclosure. Is an act as well under the Financial Services Act. We have the right to deny liability. So do not allow that to happen. Okay, the third one you need to establish is the contract of indemnity. So if anyone comes to you and says that, okay, now my property is worth 500,000, all right, example, and now they say that I want to insure for 1 million. I don't mind paying the premium for 1 million. So tell them, explain to them that now your value is 500,000. Even if you insure for 1 million, we are not going to pay you 1 million. Okay, if at the time of the claim, the market value is only 500, we will pay you the most is 500. If worse, at that time the market value is only 400, we will also pay you only 400. We are not going to pay you 1 million. So if you're going to overpay your premium, expecting to make a profit from the insurance, very sorry. Insurance don't allow us to make profit. Okay. What about PA? PA, can it consider a profit? You tell me, PA, if this person got 5 million PA, right? 5 million means he got 5 different policy, okay, 1 million, 1 million each lah. So in terms of death or permanent disablement, our friend now will be paid 5 million. All right. So is this 5 million considered a profit to him at the expense of his life, at the expense of his livelihood? Okay, already like permanent disablement, but got 5 million in the pocket. Is that considered a profit to him? Sometimes a person say, if cacat like that, I rather don't want the money. Or I want to be able to live a normal life. I can walk, I can laugh, I can enjoy myself, right? But now confined to the bed, bedridden for life, right? Even with the 5 million, so what? Am I right? So PA, we don't consider as a profit. We just consider as a compensation only, that's it. So the person is cacat or that, whatever, it's just a compensation, which is nothing lah. When a person really, really seriously ill or disabled, the 5 million is nothing. They would rather change that the money for the livelihood, Agree or not? Right? Agree or not? Agree? Agree, Okay, good. All right, so the next one you need to establish is this one, contribution. Now, take note, in the proposal form, we did ask the questions. Do you have any other insurance with this company or with other company? If so, please declare, right? So we also want to make sure that if you have a few policies covering the same property at the same location against the same peril belonging to the same insured, we will make sure that when it comes to claims, every of this policy will contribute according to the share, so that the aggregate that you collected for the claim does not allow the person to make a profit. Imagine, let's say again, if a fire claim or burglary claim, if the loss is 100,000, and then our friend filed a claim of 100,000 with each and every insurer. Let's say our friend got four. If our friend managed to collect 100,000 from each of the insurer, it will be a total of 400K, you see, But we know very well the claim is only 100K. So we do not allow each insurer here to pay 100,000 each, because if our friend collected every day of 400,000, he will be making a profit. So we don't allow that. So each company will contribute according to the share, 25, 25, 25. Maximum is 100,000. That was what he enjoyed just before the loss. Okay, so that's the purpose of contribution. PA got no contribution. So if they have 4 policies of 1 million each, the 4 policies will pay in full. Okay. So you need to explain all these product features. What are those covered? What are those not covered? And this one, example, here. Please do not over-insure and please do not under-insure. So if they over-insure, I already told you, if they over-insure, they may be paying excessive premium unnecessarily. All right, because we'll be paying according to the value at the time of the loss. And then do not under-insure for the sake of saving the premium. Earlier I mentioned, you may save 500 ringgit in terms of the flood extension, but if a flood really happens, cost destruction of 1 million is not worth it. Okay, over-insured, we don't refund you. Under-insured, we apply average. So tell them that. Okay, any restriction or exclusion, just highlight to them. Okay, provide the following breakdown of your premium, which I mentioned just now, the basic, the loading, and so and so. Okay, any other fees that you charge besides those stated in the policy. This one is very clear, especially for the MMIP. You know MMIP? The Malaysian Motor Insurance Pool, high risk pool. So, under the high risk pool, normally there's no commission allowed one. All right. So in case if you're arranging any motor insurance for your clients whose vehicle are not acceptable by all those other insurers, so all these will come under the high risk pool. So if your client requested you to get all the road tax, everything renewed for them, that one is at your own cost. Okay. So if you feel that it's only fair, you want to charge them a fee, so you have to be transparent to the client. Okay, now I'm doing all this for you. Since this policy does not allow any commission, I may have to charge you. Example, you just mentioned, I charge you 100 ringgit. 100 ringgit for runner fee, for admin fee, for whatever you name it. All right. So if your client is agreeable with this one, then that's fine. At least you have been transparent. Okay, any commission earned, again, here commission is again very, very subjective, but under the code of ethics or under this product disclosure, they did state that you have to also disclose the commission earned. But whether you want to declare the commission or not, of course, is your prerogative. All right. Normally, if your client did ask you, no discount, they say no discount, then you want to disclose your commission to them. I mean, that's fine. So you tell them, hey, brother, I'm only getting 100 ringgit commission. If you want 75 ringgit discount, what is there for me to make? Then you need to disclose your commission. But if your client understood, they don't even ask you about commission. Just give me the covenant that I will do. Okay, that's fine. All right. Okay, that's commission. Okay, other than that, okay, the timing, this one. So CBC, collect immediately, 7 days, paid up to the insurer. Then the other one is your premium warranty, where you have the 60 days. Okay. The other two, CAR, contractor all risk, and the marine cargo. These two, there's no premium warranty. So this one you need to pay as and when they raise the invoice. Okay, all these example condition. All right, here. This one is also important because this may have a negative impact on claims, you know. Now, let's say example, you mention, okay, let's say like fire insurance. Okay, you explain to them the fire covers fire, lightning, explosion. Yeah, that's fine. So if at all a fire happen, lightning happen, explosion happen, yes, the fire policy covers such peril. But also take note, there are certain conditions which you need to highlight to them. Example, one of these conditions, call this one increase in risk. Okay, increase or any change in risk. So you also need to highlight to them, Mr. Cheah, now your fire insurance, we cover you as a sundry shop. So if one of these days, if you decided to downgrade the construction or you did any renovation or you sublet your front section to another tenant, you have changed the risk, partially, please inform the insurer to get the endorsement done. Okay, so if last time when you bought a PA, you are under class 1 occupation. So if tomorrow, let's say like tomorrow, if you decided to switch a job and now you're involved in a class 3 occupational kind of things, please also inform the insurer to endorse it. Okay, and then again, if you're talking about your burglary, if today you got only one location, tomorrow you decided to expand your business, you decided to acquire further location, please inform the company. Okay, in writing lah. Because if you don't inform at all, any claim happens, even though you say, yeah, it's a fire, you say it's a burglary, yes, the one is covered under your perils. But because you breach one of these policy condition, the insurer will fall back on this condition and say that you have breached this condition. Okay, so these are just example. But all those claim conditions, you don't have to highlight so much. Highlight those that is necessary, which may occur anytime during the period of insurance. Okay, claims one, generally you tell them, if anything happens, please notify the insurer. And then other claim conditions are like those like contribution, subrogation, all these things you don't have to worry yet. The one when such time when the claim happens, then only you advise them. Okay, now another one you need to take note is the warranty. Example again, like burglary. Yes, burglary, we're talking about forcible violent entry. So today, if something happened, the robbers or the thief broke into the premises, damaged the gate, damaged the door, and so on. Yes, that one falls within the definition of forcible entry. But then again, when we quote you the burglary insurance, we give you a special rate because you have the burglar alarm. Okay, burglar alarm system. So what happened is that we will attach the burglar alarm warranty, okay, into the burglary policy. So this warranty says that this alarm must be maintained in good working condition at all times, and so on. So if let's say a break-in happens and this alarm fail to activate, so now adjuster will ask to see the maintenance contract. Let us look at your maintenance contract. How come this alarm did not activate during the break-in? So if we find that you have breached the contract, you did not service the alarm accordingly to the schedule, sorry, you have breached the warranty. Okay, so just take note, any warranty attached to the policy, also highlight to them. Another example like fire. If I've given you the FEA discount, fire extinguishing discount, FEA warranty, so also highlight to them, Mr. Cheah, your policy got the FEA discount, FEA discount, okay, for your fire extinguisher, this one, okay, fire extinguisher. So under this warranty, says that your extinguisher must be placed at a prominent position, it must be hang on the wall about 1 meter high, it must be serviced once a year, and make sure it's in good working condition. Highlight to them, all right? So if at all a fire happens and they try to use the extinguisher and the extinguisher fail to activate, then the insurer at the time of the adjustment claims, they will look at this fire extinguisher. Why was it not working at the material time of the fire? So if we look again at it, they fail to maintain, they fail to service the fire extinguisher, or the fire extinguisher went missing somewhere, the insurer got every right to fall back on this warranty. Okay, so again, like I mentioned, if at the point of sales, you are going to highlight all this to them, condition like that, warranty like that, your customer will get worried. Wow, buy insurance, so much thing, this one cannot, that one cannot, they get worried, you know. But of course, again, like I says, we need to be transparent. So at that time when they sell, be transparent about all the benefits that they can get. Later on, when the case already closed, then you can take your own time to explain to them all the condition, warranty, and so on. Okay, you are still transparent. It's just a matter of timing only. All right, Okay, so that's 3. Okay, information. Okay, the period of coverage is of course usual. You tell them it's an annual coverage, but sometimes again, okay, this is normally 12 months, all right? But sometimes insured says, I want to coincide with my financial year, example. So I may take up only about 6 months cover, okay? All right, if 6 months, how much do we charge? Short period. So you tell them short period, right? Short period, we will charge you 9 months premium. Got it? 6 months cover, we charge you 9 months. Then if 9 months, we charge you 1 year. So the client will definitely ask you, hey, why 9 months? You also charge me 12 months. I bought 12 months, you also charge me 12 months. Then better I buy 12 months. Correct or not? But there's a reason why we charge you based on short period. Okay. So now if the customer asks you this question, why? You tell me why? Why 6 months you charge me 9 months? Why not 6 months you charge me 6 months? Why 9 months you charge me 1 year? Why 1 year you charge me 1 year? Not fair, you know. Okay, again, this is all about explaining that contract to them. Okay, Mr. Cheah, even you're talking about 6 months cover, okay, tomorrow, if anything happens, total loss. Let's say you insure for 1 million, tomorrow, if it's total loss, we pay 1 million, you know. All right. Even though the premium you pay us is based on 9 months, we are not getting the full premium, you know. By right, we should be getting the annual premium to bear the cost of this 1 million. But because we insure only a short period, we are not getting the maximum premium, but we have to pay the full amount when it comes to claims, you know. Correct or not? So it's only fair that since we're assuming 100% liability here, it's only fair that we need to recoup some of the premium, okay, a little bit more premium to cover for the total loss situation like that. Okay, so that's why it's short period. Okay, proof of payment and the time frame. Okay, this one, after during the initial stage, if the client already very clear about all the product features, they are happy with that, okay, you can sign off. So ask them to sign, everything is agreed. So once the policy is has been issued, so now you can take a longer time to explain everything to them. All right. Okay, all the policy condition exclusion, you can talk to them later on. Okay, this one, okay, possible. All right, here, sometimes renewal, you may come across additional terms and conditions. Not surprising. There are times when agents, you may receive some renewal notice to tell you what, you know, renewal not invited. Okay, and then there are some they mentioned renewal subject to 25% loading. Renewal subject to this risk improvement. So it's possible. Okay, especially when it comes to claims. Let's say this year there's a claims, right? So next year renewal, there's there's the rights of the insurer to impose any additional terms and conditions if there are claims. But if everything clear, there's no claim, of course, normally insurer will maintain the same terms. Yeah. So in case the customer asks you why this year premium different, example like medical insurance, every year, every 5 years, the premium changes, you know. So in case any of your client got a medical insurance, after 5 years later, hey, premium went up by 300-400 ringgit, customer may question you, hey, why is that my medical premium? Why is it up by 400 ringgit? So you tell them medical insurance every 5 years, there's a revision because every year you get older, your health deteriorates, so it's only fair that the premium will increase in tandem with your age also, so every 5 years it will change one, you know. Okay, so that's example. If you're doing a lot of medical insurance, correct me if I'm wrong. I know because my own medical also increase every 5 years one. Okay, right. So notice of cancellation. Now, cancellation can be affected by either party. So if AXA Afin wants to cancel the policy, they have to give advance notice. Okay, so I think Motor we need to give 7 days. Other policies we need to give like 14 days notice. Right? We cancel, of course, must have a reason. So let's say if the insured are not able to comply with the risk improvement, we cancel. All right. Or if the policy, let's say if the property has been sold, yeah, we can cancel, no problem. So if the insured wants to cancel the policy, same thing, they can give us the written notice to cancel the policy. Of course, also with a reason. Why do you want to cancel your motor policy? Okay, because so, yes, we cancel. All right. Okay, any refund? Okay, any refund premium, as long as this policy, there's a minimum premium being charged. So any refund, we will still maintain the minimum. Got it? So let's say the minimum is 75 ringgit, okay? And the refund, let's say, comes to maybe 60 ringgit. Minimum, okay, let's say the refund premium comes to how much? Anything more than 75, we will still maintain this one. Okay, the minimum still maintain. Okay, this is the change in profile which I mentioned earlier. All right, I tell you what, now let's look at the case study here. So this one also will take a bit of time. Just like the earlier exercise, which you mentioned about ethical and unethical, right? So this time on this product disclosure, we are going to say is a right or wrong. So if this is right, okay, no problem. Continue to practice it according to the correct ethic. But if you think that this is something that is not right or is wrong, so you need to give me the answer. What you think is the right thing to do. Okay, so I hope you are able to respond like just now. While I go through the first one, perhaps you can also give me your answer, number 2, number 3, number 4, okay, for the whole of this slide. Okay, number one, you think it's right or is it wrong for this one? I assume that the customer referred to me would recognize me as the general insurance agent. Okay, show me your answer. I'm waiting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I tell you what, same thing. If one, you just type one, okay, one is right, okay, just put one R right lah. If two is wrong, 2W is wrong, okay. So at least I know that your response is referring to that question. Okay, in agency, one is right. Oh, any other tick lagi. Okay, good. Susan say is wrong. Okay. Now I tell you the answer, you just compare with your answers. Right here, earlier I did mention, you need to introduce yourself as an agent, right? You need to be transparent, your agency, your location, address, and so on, to ensure that you are the legalized agent. Okay. So here, if you just assume only that this person recognize you as an agent because you're already long in the market, that one, of course, in practice, people know you as an agent, but who knows? Maybe the agency has already been suspended, all right, or maybe already terminated. We don't know. But we just want to make sure that at the point of sales, you are still the legalized agent. Show proof, right? So I told you already, if it's something wrong, you need to show proof. So just show proof. Yeah, example. Right. So you just show me your PM authorization card, your agency has been renewed for the next 2 years, and then you are the agent representing Axa. Okay. Right, so good. Okay, number 2, 2, 3, 4. Let's say number 2 is wrong. Okay, number 2, Jackie say is right. Okay, Jenny say is right. Jenny say is right. Okay, lagi discourage. Okay. 3 is right. Big 6. Okay, let's see. Right. I discourage customer to grossly over-insure. This one is discouraged. So earlier I also explained to you, the code of ethics says that do not try to influence your client, okay, to over-insure something. Do not influence them, right? So if the client at all, I told you just now, if they want to insure because they think that they can make a profit out of that insurance, tell them, no way you will make a profit, all right? So discourage them, that's the right thing to do. Okay, so number 3, I have to explain to the customer the consequence of non-disclosure. Yes, okay, so number 3, this is the right thing to do. Okay, number 3, right. Okay, good. Okay, 4 is wrong. Okay, right. Okay, number 4, number 3 is the right thing to do. So again, this is talking about trying to influence the client in terms of the material facts. Okay, number 4, I can get a sub-agent to help sell a PA on my behalf. Number 4, sub-agent cannot. Even if you got any person who referred any customer to you, you don't just simply pass the PA proposal form to your friend. Friend. You ask your friend to fill out the PA, and then his class one. Okay, class 1 premium is 300. You collect the 300 ringgit from him. Ask him to make the payment to me. Your sub-agent, not sub-agent, your referrer is not an agent at all. They are not even sub-agent. Okay, don't even call them sub-agent, Okay, a lot of people say, oh, I got a lot of sub-agent one, it means these people will refer case to me, see. Don't even call them sub-agent. These are your referrer only, okay? So if anyone referred any risk to you, it's you that have to close, all right? Not your sub-agent. So number 4, this is not ethical. This is wrong. So make sure that you are the one who will be doing all the sales transaction. You need to go through all the product disclosure, everything together with that person who your referral referred to. Okay, let's look at number 5 to 8. While I address the number 5, let's see your answers to 6, 7, and 8. Okay, I need not explain the coverage since it's too technical for me. My customer trusted me anyway. This is based on trust, you know. Is it okay? Assuming you have all their insurance with you, all their group family insurance with you, right? Their car also with you, the house owner with you, their PA with you, their life with you. You need everything with you. So trust me. According to, practice, the whole family insurance with you many years already. But nothing happen is fine. You laughing away, I laughing away. We are friends, right? Nothing happened, we are friends. But if something happens and you have not explained such thing to them, I tell you, the friend will become foes, become enemies. You see that or not? I tell you, in honestly speaking, it's like that. Nothing happened, we are friends. Something happened, fingers start pointing, friend become enemies, you know. So still, again, the code of ethics says that you still need to explain to make sure that everything is clear to them. Even, the family, all the insurance are with you. Each and every product are different. Okay, so make sure that they understood exactly what the product they are buying and what premium they are paying for. Okay, so that's example. You still need to explain according to the code of ethics. All right, if you are not very sure, not very familiar with the coverage or something that you don't normally sell, right? So you can always use the product disclosure sheet to help you in your transaction. Okay. All right, number 6. Okay, let's see number 6. Okay, 6, right. Okay, 7 is wrong, 8 is right. Okay, let's see. Okay, I have to make known to customer all the policy exclusion that will not pay for any loss or damage. Yes, so during your discussion with your clients pertaining to the policy coverage, all right? So explain to them all those exclusion which we will not pay. Example, like PA, you tell them personal accident. We are talking about accidental means. So if at all, because right now with all the with all this economy downturn, a lot of people losing their income, losing their job. A lot of people are very stressed up and so on. So they may think of committing suicide. All right, or worse, they may think of trying to inflict some self-injury in order to file some insurance claims. Right. So you tell them if the PA any suicide or any self-inflicted injury, PA don't pay. We only pay for accidental. Okay. And likewise, anyone who is doing business, like example, they may think that they want to burn down their shop, they want to file a claim and so on. You tell them those are what they call the willful act of the insured. Also, we don't cover. Okay. So these are the things you need to highlight to them. Okay, that's the right thing to do. Okay, I was asked by the customer to effect a PA on the life of his brother, sister-in-law, brother's wife, father. Boleh tak ini? Honestly, I don't know what relation this one. Brother punya sister-in-law punya brother's wife punya father. I don't know what relationship. Okay, ini number 7. Okay, let's see. Number 7 is wrong. Okay. Honestly, this is all about insurable interest. So if you cannot establish any insurable interest, tak boleh beli. All right. So you imagine if anything happened to this father and the person who bought the insurance, right? If this person mati lah, okay, die, this customer will be the happiest person in the world. Correct or not? Better die lah, so I can claim your insurance. Okay, that's the wrong thing to do. Okay, number 8, I have to break down the basic premium. All these things, basic premium, additional premium. Okay, so this one I've gone through with you as well. Yes, definitely, you need to give a breakdown. Okay, number 8. So most of you say, okay, right. It's the right thing to do. Okay, while I address the number 9, you can go at you can give me your answer for 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so let's see number 9. Okay, I cannot disclose the commission that I earned from the insurance that I sold the car. It's confidential. So again, under your code of ethics, under the Product Disclosure Act, you need to, according to the requirement, you need to disclose. You need to be transparent. All right. Okay, that's for number 9. Okay, let's see number 10, 11, and 12. Let's see what's your response here. Okay, 9 is wrong. Okay, okay, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, 10 is okay, right? 12 is okay. So also okay. All right, let's see. I have to ask the customer to pay up within 7 days. Are you sure? Number 10, number 10. Are you sure? Number 10. Right, right, right. Number 10. Sudesh. You put that wrong. You are right. Okay. You mentioned wrong, but you are right. Okay. Take note. This one. Customer need to pay immediately. Okay. Pay me now. Right. So agent, you got 7 days to pay to the insurer. Okay, it's not you give 7 days to your client to pay you. But if you want to take chances, you issue the cover note. You want to give your customer 7 days to pay you, you take chances lah. So if anything happens and the premium has not been paid to you, you have to pay first. All right. But of course, under the code of ethics, according to the CBC, must be paid to you immediately. Right. And then you got 7 days to pay it up. Okay. Right. Next one. Payment of premium can be made by credit card, cash, or check issued in favor of the insurer. Yes. 11 okay, right, sure. So this one also take note because I know the fact that sometimes customers, when they want to make payment, right, they have no choice. I say okay, agent, can I make the payment to you first, then after that you make the payment to the insurer, you see. So if at all the client make any payment to you, let's say they credit your account through the touch and go or they issue through all the online payment. So if this is issued in favor of the agent, take note, issue in favor of agent, make sure that you are able to account for the premium. Okay, because sometimes when they need the payment to you, they will put that for insurance payment. So make sure you got a proper record, because any payment made to the agent is also deemed to be payment received by the insurer. Okay, so if any claim happens, the claim department will ask for the proof of payment. So you need to show proof that this customer has made the payment directly to you, and you make sure that you pay to the insurer within the time limit. All right. To the if they want to insure directly to the insurer, lagi no problem. Better still. Okay, my advice is that if they're going to make any payment in large amount, right, it's better to make directly to the insurer. Safer. If you say like personalized, a few hundred ringgit, okay lah. If you want to make in favor of the agent, it's still okay. But large amount, better to be insured. There's no doubt about that. Okay, number 12. Okay, let's see number 12. What if this from Sudesh. What if the customer check bounce? Is the CBC applied to agent? Okay, Sudesh, again, CBC says the payment must be made. Okay, what if the customer check bounce? So you mean to say the check issued to agent, right? If the check issued to agent, if it's bounce, it's bounce. It's bounce means no payment. All right, so it bounce. If the 7 days is already due, you tell your client again, your check bounce, please make the payment immediately. If they still cannot make the payment, you have no choice. You want to prevent your agency from being suspended because of the breach of CBC, so that you have no choice. You have to make the payment first. All right, but then of course you have to see whether you trust your clients or not. If this is your very loyal customers, of course you can trust them. I pay first, you pay me later. Okay. Bounce means no payment. So dishonor means very dishonored bound means no payment made. That's clear. All right. So that's okay. All right. Okay, next one, number 12. I have to explain the various policy condition warranty. Okay, this one definitely is the right thing to do. Okay, number 12. Okay, most time in favor of agency account. Yes, Jackie, yes, that's true. Which I mentioned just now. Most of the time they will make direct to the agents rather than to the insurer. But like I mentioned just now, any big amount, if possible, issue directly to the insurer. Okay. Okay, I have to explain the various policy condition warranty. Okay, this is fine. Especially I told you just now, warranties and conditions. Make sure that they are fully aware. Okay, while I go to number 13, you can provide your answers for 14, 15, 16. Okay, I just charge a 9 months premium for a 6 months cover. Customer query me. I answer, is tariff rated. Is that fair? Why you charge me 9 months? Tariff ma. You don't believe me, you go and check. You go and check with other insurers also, same thing. We also charge 9 months one. It's like that, it's tariff. If you don't like it, you go and complain to Bank Negara lah. It's okay one. You go and complain to PM lah. You go and talk to your pewakil, no problem one. It's tariff. Is that the way? Is that the way you explain to your client? No lah. If you are really a professional agent, you're knowledgeable, you don't tell them like that, right? Yeah, it's tariff. It's tariff. It's true. But then again, you need to expand a bit. All right. Why is it tariff? All right. Okay. So this one, number 13. Okay. Let's say number 13 wrong. No need to explain. So Dash must explain one. Okay. We need to explain. Okay. Explain the short period, which I mentioned to you just now. Since your period of cover is only 6 months, right? 6 months, by right, I should be collecting the full premium, the annual premium. But since you cover only 9 months, it's only right I charge you a little, sorry, since you insure only 6 months, it's only right I charge you a 9 months premium. Because if a claim happens, a total loss, the company will have to bear 100%, You see or not? It's not that when it comes to claim, I pay you 6 over 9. No. If the loss is 100,000 total loss, I still need to pay 100,000. You see or not? For the premium I collected is only 75%, but I got to pay, I got to bear the loss of 100%, So you see or not? So that's normal for us to charge short period. Yes, it's tariff, but you need to explain to them why tariff. Why is it short period? All right. Okay, number 14. Let's see number 14. Okay, 14. Okay, right thing to do. Okay, 14 is the right thing to do. Okay. Okay, I told my customer his policy renewal is not automatic if adverse claim expire. Okay, so this one I already highlighted to you just now. Insurer got every right to revise the terms or impose additional terms and conditions, especially if there's already an adverse claims experience. All right, this one more so especially medical insurance. Okay, right, number 15. Okay, I inform my customer, both parties have the right to terminate the policy. Yes, I will also explain this to you as well. Either party can terminate as long as you give me the valid reason, okay, for termination. All right, understand that the pro rata premium is still allowed for cancel policy where the premium is charged. Okay, number 16, right? Okay, you put that right, but the answer is wrong, Okay, where any premium, minimum premium charge, we will still maintain the minimum premium. All right. So even if the pro rata premium will count, still less than minimum, we still maintain the minimum premium. Okay. So if let's say the refund 50 ringgit, 50 ringgit, no refund. Okay. If we work out pro rata, refund comes to 50 ringgit, no refund because the minimum is 75 ringgit. Okay. All right, 16. Okay, let's see 16 now. Okay, got it. All right. Next one, 17 to 20. Okay, while I go through number 17, please provide your answer to 18, 19, and 20. Yeah. All right. I inform my customer to advise insurer of any change in his life profile, including occupation, personal pursuit, to avoid any dispute in event of claim. So number 17, is that the right thing to do? Okay, right. So that's the right thing. This one example, if our friend at the time when he purchased that PA, he was under class 1 occupation. So if later on our friend switch occupation, involved in more hazardous kind of business and so on, so please inform us. So this personal pursuit example, when he bought the insurance, he has no hobby at all. Okay? He has no hobby at all. Then 6 months later, he found a new hobby. He likes to go for bungee jump, parachuting, all the aerial activities. So the minute is involved in all these things, please inform the company for the endorsement to be issued, because all these extra hazardous activities, these are all exclusions under the PA policies. Okay, right. I have 14 days to pay the motor insurance premium to the insurer. 14 days. Number 18. Okay, now 18. Wrong, Okay, wrong. So the 40 days definitely is not. All right. So this under your CBC, 7 days from the. Okay, here I mentioned inception according to the wordings, but you know very well that it's actually 7 days from the issue of the cover note. Okay, I can be terminated from doing agency business if I breach 3 quarters in the period of 24 months. So this is under your CBC. So if you continuously breach the CBC, you will be, your agency, number 1, the first offense I told you earlier, suspended. The second offense, it will be terminated. All right. Okay, I have to remit the premium to the insurer within the 60 working days from the inception cover under the premium warranty. Number 20. Okay, 20. That's the right thing to do. Okay, here, just now I highlighted to you, even though, yes, we do give 60 days, but if you can, try to get the premium paid within that 45 days. Okay, at least you still have the 15 days flexibility. Earlier, I already explained to you, if you wait until the final 60 days, in case of any delay and so on, because of public holidays, it may go beyond the 60 days. And technically speaking, I already told you, the premium warranty say is already automatically cancelled. So we do not want this to happen. Okay, so try to make sure premium is collected within the 45th day. Yeah, of course, some customer will complain, Mr. Cheah, the policy, I'm waiting for the policy with the debit note. No debit note, am I going to account for the premium? So you give me the debit note. All right. So if you are going to wait for the policy and wait for the debit note to be issued, sometimes policy can even exceed 60 days, So again, if you want to make sure that the premium is collected, you can also raise your invoice first, based on your quotation that you given to your client, right? You raise the quotation first and then ask them to pay based on the quotation. So once the policy is out, if the premium is exactly what you charge them, that's fine. But if there's any deviation in the premium calculation, so if it's underpaid, you tell them to pay, or overpaid, you must refund them. Okay, you raise your own invoice first, pending the policy issuance. All right. Okay, so that's number 20. Okay, so we have more or less completed this product disclosure and the transparency procedures. So while I share with you the code of ethics, what that you must do. So hopefully with the case study I given you just now, so make sure that whatever is wrong, make sure that you do it right. Okay. Okay. So all right. Any questions? So before I move on to the next one. Okay. Any question before I move on to the anti-money laundering? Respond. Nope. Okay, Jom. Okay, if not, let's move on to the next one. This should take us to about 12:30. All right, I have this anti-money laundering, which is also another of the procedures, which as an agent, you also need to comply with the requirement. So under this AMLA, you are supposed to, number one, report, okay, any suspicious transaction, okay, report to the authority. And then you also need to, you need to check, okay, you need to do a check, okay, on the background of all these transactions. Okay, so if any suspicions, you just need to report and that's it. So as far as the investigation are concerned, that one we will leave it to the authority. Your job is just to report any suspicious transaction to the authority, or meaning to your principal. Okay, so for this one, I will copy and paste that link at the chat box. So I want you to download the link, and then I want you to complete that questions there. Very simple. Just only need to tick there true or false, true or false. That's about it. Okay. So give me a minute to download this. But if you got the link, you can also download if you can, just in case.
Yep, sure, I'm doing that.
In case they cannot access mine. Okay, I have copy and paste that forms in the chat box. So if you can open up immediately from the chat box, that would be good. Hopefully you can do that. If you can't, then copy the link and paste into the Chrome, in the Google, paste in the Chrome. Hopefully you can open it. All right. Can I know that any one of you managed to open the file? Anyone managed to open the file? Any problem? Okay, can All right. So I tell you what, this one will take you about maybe 3 to 5 minutes only, very simple one, just true false. So this is just to test your understanding about these anti-money laundering. All right. Okay, I give you like 2-3 minutes. You do it, and then after that you submit online. Just click OK, submitted, and then you should be able to see your score. Okay, how much you can get among the 20 questions. Okay. This one, don't worry about the score. There's no passing marks one. This is just to test your understanding about money laundering. But you get a very, very low score, then you have to be very careful of, because you can be considered a risk. Someone can make use of you to launder the money, right? But if you fully understood what is this AMLA, you got a very high score, then at least I would say that you are more to the safety margin. All right, so you do it now. So now it's about 12:15. So maybe about 2-3 minutes. Once you got it, can you just type your score in the chat box? Okay, anyone managed to complete it? Oh, we got like 195, 200 participants, not bad. Okay, done. Right. Jackie got 15 of 20. Okay, good. Right, I'm going to exit this screen. I'm going to put on that money laundering punya. Okay. Okay, let's see who else. Okay, OBS, OBS. Okay, 15 out of 20. All right, can I see a few more? A few more. Oui, 12, Oui, 12, Okay. 12, okay, Jenny, 14. So far we have the highest like 17. So let's see today anyone can break the record on us. 17. Okay, Sue got 13. All right, Chan 16, Sudesh 14. Okay, I think by now most of you more or less already completed. So just submit online. You can see the correct answers. Once you submitted, you got the wrong answer, you can see the correct answers. All right, so there's no passing marks. It's just basically to test your understanding. So if any of you get like about 10, like that, 10, 11, 12, 13, 10 around 10, 11, just be more alert about all this anti-money laundering. So if you got it wrong, I will go through with you the correct answers. But if those of you got it like, water 18, very good. So we break the record, 18 already. So you got 18 of 21, that's good. At least you are very familiar with anti-money laundering. Okay, I tell you what, I will go through with you that, okay, I'll go through the forms with you just to make sure that every one of us understood. All right, the first one here, are you with me? Yes. Okay, the first one, I'm required under the AMLA to report any suspicious transaction to my principal higher authority. So definitely is true. So when we say reporting any suspicious transaction, this suspicious transaction, there are actually so many that's been listed in the list. So along the way, when I go through, I will try to highlight some of those. Okay, when I say reporting here means if you are at the branch, you report to the branch manager. So most of the branch managers are actually also considered as the compliance officer, right? So a branch, you refer to the branch manager, and then the branch manager will then report it to the head office. HQ, then the HQ compliance department will then report this to the authority. So this authority means Bank Negara lah. All right. Okay, that's true. Okay, number two, I can also be subject, when I say I means is you, agents. Okay, agent can be subject to 5 years imprisonment or 5 million fine or both if I'm convicted for engagement or abetment. Okay, the one that's engaged in money laundering, the one I would say that for insurance is very, very high risk, because the money launderers, they can actually make use of insurance to launder. Example, they could have bought this insurance. Let's say they bought a property worth 1 million. All right. Then after that, they decided to take up an insurance maybe through another identity. Then after that, they bought the property for 1 million sum insured. Premium, let's say 10,000. Okay. Then 1-2 months later, cause of fire. So after that fire burned down, insurer, assuming after every investigation done, found that there's no evidence of fraud, whatever example. So company paid 1 million. So can you imagine? They paid the 1 million using all the illegal money, and then they claim back the insurance, which is already a clean money. So all this laundering, meaning all the monies are obtained from all the illegal activities. Example, from drugs from all those gambling from prostitution from fraud from the scams There are so much of this dirty money in the market. All right. So here, if the person engaged in money laundering, that one definitely is a money launderer. All right. But if you, as an agent, example, you also help them to launder the money, you can also be equally liable. All right. So let's say if at the point of sales, you know that this person is a money launderer. Okay. You know it's a money launderer, but you didn't report him and you still try to help him, because maybe you also look at the premium. Wow, premium very sizable. So you may also want to abet him in money laundering. So if at all investigation found that you also help this person to launder the money, you can also be equally liable. All right. So that's true. Okay, next one. I understand that money laundering is about making clean money looks dirty. This one is the other way around. So it's the dirty money looks clean. Example again, our friend bought a PA cover, PA insurance. So after bought a PA already, later tells you, oh, I want to cancel the policy. Why cancel? Oh, because I got too many PA. Then after that, same thing. After you cancel the policy, refund premium, the refund premium becomes a clean money. Use the dirty money to pay for the premium, then the refund becomes a clean money. Okay, another example. Okay, here I understand that AMLA is applicable not only to agent but to all as well, to brokers, adjuster. Yes, this is definitely true. Yeah. So again, when you sell this insurance, the requirement is that every agent must also be able to do an assessment, okay, of this money laundering, and any suspicious transaction, you need to make a report. So that's okay. That's under 5. Okay, I have to confirm and sign on the declaration that I've cited the customer IC. True. So again, when anybody wants to make a purchase of any insurance, we need to vet their IC just to identify that this person is the purchaser of this insurance. All right. Or we want to establish that insurable interest. Okay. All right. Number 7. I need to sell a copy of the ROC. So if any company where the premium exceeding, any company, in terms of the company's premium exceeding certain amount, we need to photostat the IC. personal individual exceeding 50,000, we need to photostat their IC. Any company's premium exceeding certain amount, we need to photostat their ROC. So this one in excess of 100,000, okay, not 200, 1,000. Okay, here again, when you ask them for their IC, they give you all the reasons, all the excuses. Oh, I forget to bring my IC. Oh, my IC got stolen, and so and so. Of course, there are times people may tend to forget to bring their IC. Okay, so if he genuinely forget, it's fine. Okay, if today you can't show me your IC, it's fine. Maybe you can bring it the day after, 2 days later, doesn't matter. We still need to just to cite your IC. All right. But if you say that, oh, my IC are stolen during the snatch time, stolen. Fine. If your IC got stolen or snatched theft, you need to show proof your police report that your IC has been stolen during the snatch theft. Okay. Or if you lost your IC, show me your police report. That's fine. Okay. So here we do give them a certain time frame to revert with the IC. So this one, if you look at the answer, is what? 7 days, not 14 days. Okay, I have to report customer my principal. If you continue to give also excuses not to present his IC. Okay, so this one is true. Okay, I need not be too concerned if the customer come all the way from JB to KL. This one, of course, I'm very concerned. Okay. Why, JB? Oh, when you look at the IC, right? Oh, you are from JB. Why JB come to KL to buy insurance? Cannot, me? I happen to pass by, KL cannot, me? I'm on the way to Penang, pass by, I cannot buy, me? Of course you can, but we want to know why not in JB. I mean, in JB, you got all the branch officers, all the agents are in JB, why not here? So if they say that, yes, I'm from JB, but I'm working in KL, okay. If you can show proof to me that your employer is in KL, fine. But if you cannot show proof, just because you pass by, you want to buy from KL, it become very suspicious. Because in JB, he could be known as Tai Yilong. People know him. When you mention Mr. Tai, only everybody knows is Tai Yilong, right? But when our friend comes to KL, nobody recognize him, so he can hide his identity. All right. So this one becomes suspicious. All right. Okay, number 11, I have to report to my principal if they demand early cancellation of policy. Yes. So if you say that they cancel the policy because the property has been sold, I mean, that's fine. But if for no reason, they just say, I want to cancel my policy because I don't like your service, I don't like your terms and conditions, that one gives some grounds for suspicion. Okay. Right. Number 12, I can request insurer to refund any cancellation to me since the customer owe me some money, right? So again, the same thing here. Whatever refund is all directly to the insured. So if the insurer owes you any money, it's between you and him. As far as the insurer is concerned, money goes direct to the insured. All right. So the same thing, if anybody asks to refund the money to him, there could be grounds for suspicion. Why to you? Why not to the insured? You see or not? So that's ground for suspicion. Okay, I can ask insurer to refund the premium for cancer fire policy to offset with the all-risk policy issued to the same insured. Is that okay? So this is okay. As long as it's the same insured, no problem. We can offset. Okay, because maybe our friend issue a fire policy, then the bank say, no, I do not want a fire policy. I want an all-risk policy. Okay, so now we have no choice, cancel the fire and then issue a new one under all-risk, and then whatever premium paid, we can use that to offset with the all-risk. Okay, number 14, I can issue the claims check to bank. Okay, this one is right. So under your mortgagee clause, the same thing. Mortgagee clause, of course, they got the right under the mortgagee clause to demand for any payment which is due to the bank. Okay, outstanding loans. Okay, I would accept cash in large amount since customer does not have a checkbook, having only savings account. This one, cash in large amount, this one is not. Okay. Now, cash amount means any amount, let's say like example, 50,000. If the customer, the premium is 50,000, they say, I want to pay you cash. No, if possible, if you can issue me a check, if possible, go to the bank, get the bank draft for me. No, I don't have bank draft, I don't have a check. Can I issue 50,000? So if they issue you a check, if they give you a cash of 50,000, there is a ground for suspicion. Okay, the laundered money, there's ground for suspicion. You just report that this person, you just think this person is going to confirm they're going to pay a cash of 50,000. You just report that. So it's up to that authority to investigate whether this 50,000 comes from laundered money or is it comes from a clean money. All right. Okay, I have to do an enhanced due diligence for people of what I call located address or areas known for high rate of crimes. Okay, this one is true. So if you look at the location, they put there, okay, staying at say somewhere that is known for gangsterism, somewhere that is known for drug smuggling, somewhere that is known for all these illegal activities. You got to do what they call a further enhanced due diligence. Okay, that's another form you need to find out further. Not everyone stay in this type of place are considered money launderers, but there could be. Okay, there is a possibility. So you just need to do enhanced due diligence. Okay, I need to seek approval for my of my principal if I got any doubts about reporting my customers who are high net worth individual. Okay, that is true. Now, this high net worth individual, example for PA maximum PA we can take normally is 1 million okay, standard coverage is 1 million. So if this customer comes to you, I want to take up a PA of 200 million, okay or not? 200 million PA. 200 million PA, of course, there's ground for us to be suspicious whether this person is worth 200 million or not, right? But let's look at the person. If you say this person is, let's say Tan Sri Jeffrey Cheah okay? Who else? Tan Sri Vincent Tan, Tan Sri Sai Mokhtar All these are high net worth individuals, right? You think we need to get approval or not for these people? If you are doubtful whether to give. Usually, it's better for us to check with our principal. Okay, check with your principal. This Sai Mokhtar example wants to take up a 200 million PA. Is it okay? So your principal will then check with Bank Negara whether this person are listed as one of the blacklisted as one of the money launderers. Okay, so if they check and this person is not blacklisted, yes, you can proceed. All right, but if this person found to be listed among all the money launderers, then of course the insurer will tell you not to accept it. All right. Okay, number 18, I need not do a verification process if the payment is already made through the credit card or through e-payment from the customer account. This one no problem. The bank would have already vetted the background, okay, of this insured. That's why they approve all the credit card transaction, so no problem. Okay, I still need to verify NRC e-payment of one policy used to fund premium payable in another policy. This one don't have to already. Let's say if our friend bought a house owner, then later on our friend want to take up a house owner, a householder, no problem. We already vet his background. Okay. Today our friend took up a fire policy. Tomorrow he want to take up a motor policy, no problem. We already vetted his IC. No problem. Okay. Number 20. I will have to immediately advise Bank Negara of any suspicious transaction through email or fax or post. No, this one we have a form called the suspicious transaction report form. So you need to use that proper form to file a report. You can't simply just use an email. Okay, so take the forms, the reason for your reporting, everything is in the form itself. Okay, number last one. Finally, I understand fully that any person who contravenes any provision of the AMLA shall on completion be liable. This one, yes. All right. So I already mentioned everyone in the industry, whether it's the agents, the insurer, the employees, the adjusters, brokers, we are all bounded by this AMLA. So if you know that this person is involved in money laundering, it's only right under this law to report. But if, like I said, if you try to hide the identity, you still you breach any of these AMLA provisions here. Example, if you tip off, let's say this person has been reported to the authority, and the authority supposed to come and do a search on the suspected money launderer, but you already knew that someone reported him and this money launderer is your friend. You go and tip off your friend money launderer. This Bank Negara is coming after you. So you better get ready. You better abscond whatever. So this money launderer receiving the tips from you, after that abscond. So by the time this officer people comes in to search for their premise, already vacant. Okay, so anyone who tip off this money launderer is also considered as breaching part of this law. Okay, so that's example, tipping off. That's another of this act. Okay, right. So these are examples of this money laundering. Okay, I got perfect. I got perfect answers. All right, so I hope it gives you an idea of what is this money laundering. Okay, so those of you who get only about 10, 11, those that you got it wrong, make sure you make sure you get it right. Yeah. For those who get it almost like maximum, that's good. Continue to practice it. Okay. Yeah. So more or less, I have completed these sessions on this money laundering. Okay, 11, Wan Lee Hong, 11, 11, okay, MB 14, okay lah, good lah. All right, so thank you for your participation in this this exercise. All right, so any question before I end the session? Any question? Okay, if not, let's see what I have here. Okay, this is just an example of this money laundering. One of the case here. This is in Sabah, reported in Sabah Daily Express in 2010, 20 years ago. Okay, you can see that in the insurance, this guy, okay, Masaleh, BP Masaleh, he was actually involved betting in the money laundering. All right, so you see, our friend, okay, 11 counts of money laundering involving all the life insurance product, okay, all insurance unit trust. General, not so bad. If you're talking about being a life agent, very high risk, because anybody who wants to take up a life insurance, they want to take up any unit trust investment, no limit one, Properties, if they want to insure the property, we got a limit. So even if you bought a property for 3 million, the maximum you can insure is 3 million, you see. But for life and all these other unit trusts, no limit. That's why people from the life side, you are considered actually a higher risk of being taken advantage by the money launderers, right? So these are examples of the money laundering. Okay, you see all the premium and so and so. Okay, penalty like 5 million. Yeah. Okay, so this is just example of this person been charged under the anti-money laundering. Okay, so if no further question, I'll hand back to Andrew. Are you still there, Fatah?
I already left already.
Okay, right.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Mr. Stephen, and thank you for the rest of our business partners who stayed from the beginning until the end of the session. Thank you very much. Before you leave the session, I would really appreciate and would like to remind you again, please fill up the assessment form. I attach here again the link. For those who have done, thank you very much. So thank you, Mr. Stephen. Thank you, the rest. So have a good lunch. Thank you. So I'll see you later, Mr. Stephen.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.